This is Jonah Hill, and you're listening to the only podcast that matters.
Bro Gang, we are joined by the Philadelphia Pharaoh, the five-star John's General, the Dalai Lama of peace and love, the Oppenheimer of optimism, there's confirmed no cap at all caps, the governor of graphics, the brotherly love baron, the Duke of Call of Duty, the Haribo head honcho, founder and designer of All Cap Studio, Saeed Ferguson. Saeed, what's good?
Yes, sir.
Just remember all caps when you spell the man name. What's good, bro?
Why is it that the first time of Doom reference in a minute comes from Larry? That's backwards.
Dude, I just found out that was the song. I didn't realize he had a song. Yeah, I think my friend Sean texted that to me the other day. It was like, dude, he has a song called All Caps. I didn't
Villain?
That was the thing.
You never listened?
I didn't tap in.
I thought that's why the brand earlier was called Cheetos, Doritos, Fritos, and you had to change it.
Dude, you had to pivot.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not even a fucking nerd like James. I like good rap. I know Saeed and I like good rap, but that's it. Yo, Mad Villainy is fucking ill, dude.
Yeah, Lawrence doesn't.
Is that outro? Wait, is that the quickest we've ever determined outro music on a podcast within the first minute?
Yeah, easily.
Wow.
Before Saeed even spoke.
Damn.
We're on fire, baby.
Saeed, speaking of being on fire, you are a young, stylish, go hard dude. So we want to do a fucking fit check. And the question for you, sir, when you walk us through the totality of your fit to the audience at home, we haven't done this for a minute now. So let's come back with the vengeance like a phoenix rising from the ashes. You want to go top down or bottom up? Up to you.
Bottom up.
Hell yeah. Fuck cops. Fuck 12.
We are not going to defund your ass.
Yeah.
Before the cops. All right, bottom up, I got a 990s, New Balance 990s. That's like my default.
Wait, how do you feel about Antonio hating New Balance?
Dude, I hate that he hates New Balance. I'm team New Balance all the way.
So is New Balance, so what's the deal with New Balance? Is New Balance canceled because of progressive shopping apps? Like, what's the deal?
It is.
And Saeed, can you fill me in?
Let's ask our guest.
Yeah, Saeed, you're good.
I wear it from a standpoint, like culturally, like where like North Philly is like a very like standard, like that's where you like if you're a dude from North Philly, like you see the 990 all the time, and it's like a cultural staple, and that's why, and like that's probably the exclusive, like the only New Balance I wear, and it's for that reason. But New Balance as a company. I'm wearing B4. I either go between the B4 was like the one I purchased most, but I do like the B3 a lot too. I do have can't do B5. Can't do B5.
No, V5 is trash, dude. I think everyone V5s aren't trash. James and I were lucky enough to be gifted the EG New Balance V5s. They're cool. I definitely rate V. I would love to hear James. I go 3, 4, 5 in descending order.
Yes, I actually agree. I agree.
Okay, so that's settled.
Are you wearing them in the crib? Are you wearing them in the crib, Saeed?
I was out, so I just had them on. But like in the crib, I usually just wear like some slippers. I've been wearing the 18 slippers a lot. In the crib.
Hell yeah! Oh, like the hotel joints, the hotel slippers. Nice. Hell yeah!
Big fire.
Okay, moving on up.
Wait, can I ask you a question about New Balance real quick in Philly? So it's like kind of like DC. It's like culturally that's the shoe of the city. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, and something like at least very specific. I want to say very specific to like North Philly for sure.
Okay.
And it's like something I grew up seeing. So just like for me, it's just that's what
grays,
like
gray or blue or black or anything.
The grays are my favorite, and then the all blacks are right behind it.
Okay.
All blacks right behind it. I'm wearing the all blacks today.
If you could collab with the sneaker, would it be the 990?
Probably be the 990. Be the 990.
How would you freak it? How would you freak it?
Don't tell Antonio, bro. Chiangoli's going to be fucking pissed. He hates New Balances for some reason. He hates that.
He does. I don't know what's good with that. I got to talk to him about that. Got to get him on Team New Balance. NB. I don't know how I would customize them. I have no idea.
They're weirdly, just to kind of throw in, to piggyback off Lawrence's point about how like they're, I don't know, like the founders, whatever, like is a huge Republican. I learned that in Germany, like cool people don't really wear New Balance because a lot of neo-Nazis wear New Balance because of the big N.
Oh, come on, bro.
Jesus Christ.
Get out of here.
I don't know what to tell you. I mean, that's not obviously not their choice. It's just that this subculture, whatever, of fucking assholes has co-opted the John.
Well, now New Balances are ruined forever when I see the end. God damn. But I will say, I think that the deal with New Balance is that it's like the CEO, it's like his grandfather or his father, and he's like on the board and he's donating to some old ass, racist ass cracker. You know, it's gonna happen. You know?
Exactly.
Fuck white people, bro. You know the vibes.
Been saying that on the pod for years. We need the new generation of NB to step up once this old motherfucking racist dies. All right, moving on up from the feats.
Oh yeah, socks.
All right, socks. I'm wearing like I just exclusively wear all white socks, and I just go with Champion, like no branding, all white Champion socks. And then pants, I'm wearing
what length sock?
Yeah.
Long, usually like a very long sock.
Long. He said long, extendo, so calf.
Yeah. The tubies. The juicy tubies.
It goes like it's the calf. It's like long. Like I don't wear shorts. I can't. Short socks are very uncomfortable.
Yo, my man walks in the Foot Locker. He goes, "Give me the long socks, bro.
Give me them long boys."
Yeah, the long boys, dude.
The Foot Locker.
Right. What kind of what are you wearing shorts right now in the crib? Wait, do you? Okay,
I'm team pants.
Oh, in the crib?
Yeah, it's just like. In life,
bro, what's your AC? What's your AC bill looking like?
Yeah, dude,
must be robust. You're fucking.
What temp?
Dude, I just don't know where this is.
Lower?
I'm at 70. I'm at 70 right now.
And you're in pants?
I'm in pants.
Free your mind.
Yeah,
bro. No. I'm wearing shorts right now. Who's wearing shorts? James, you wearing shorts? Chuck, you wearing shorts? Chef, are you wearing shorts? Oh,
I'm outweighed here.
I'm wearing pants today.
Damn, we went 3 for 4. You know how good that would have been if we had gone 4 for 4 and we dunked on Saeed?
I would have changed immediately. I would have went bottomless.
You don't wear bag. You just don't wear shorts. I mean, Philly. It gets hot in Philly.
Like if I've been running a lot recently, and like I would just wear of course like shorts to run, and like I would just chill out the day with like this. I would just wear the running shorts throughout the day, and like that's like my extent of shorts. And like Antonio sent me a pair of 18E shorts, and like that's like the only other shorts that I wear.
What shorts are you running?
Team pants.
What shorts are you running?
I have like these really old Nike, like 2 pairs of Nike shorts that I run. I just go between those. I just run those.
Is it like a 3-inch? Is it like, are you showing a lot of leg? Like how?
I'm showing some. I like. If I wear shorts, I'm showing leg.
Hell yeah!
We got legs exposed.
You got you running with the brains in. You going balls on brains?
What does that mean?
The netting? Is there netting?
Well, you said, like with netting?
Yeah.
Like, do they have netting? Yeah. Yeah, I think they have netting. Yeah, they have netting.
So you do box or you do underwear, which we'll get to, and the netting, double trouble? Or I
do double trouble.
Double trouble, okay. All right. Listen,
I'm double trouble in there.
This is a podcast that is very pro man thigh, very pro leg. Let the fucking gams rock. You know, let your hindquarters fucking breathe, you know?
Yeah, let them hams out.
Yeah, you know the fucking vibes. All right, moving on up. What's the T today?
I have a Only New York t-shirt that's just
hold up. What are the pants?
Oh shit.
The pants. I missed the pants. The pants are, I'm wearing like a chocolate brown Dickies 874s.
Nice. Crop. You cut them or you let them fucking stack?
I just cuffed them twice.
You cuffed them.
And I got them at I think the length I bought was like a 30 length. I just cuffed them twice.
Do you crease them too? Do you iron a crease in your Dickies or no?
Like once the original crease is gone, I usually don't go back for it. You just let it rock.
Hold on.
These are holding it.
Oh, we've never met IRL, so I don't know this. Are you tall or short? Like if you're wearing
I'm a short dude.
Yeah, 30 inseam and you cuff them twice.
Cuff them. Yeah. I'm 5'6".
Damn.
Short man. Short energy over here.
Hell yeah. long boys on the short boy.
Yo, he's an efficient. He uses his energy as an efficient human being. That's what it is, ladies.
Exactly.
You know, I'm not going to shame this man just because I'm extremely tall.
Do you always luck out? With like drops? Because like I don't know, like M's and L's always go the fastest. Like if you're rocking S, I don't know.
Yeah. For tops, I usually go medium just because I like my top to be like a little bit bigger. So it's like give or take for that. But for pants, usually
there's a lot of guys that listen that would also prefer their top to be a bit bigger if you catch my drift. So, you know, this is a very all-inclusive podcast. We're out here.
I don't get it, but we'll probably have to cut that. All right, moving on up. Saeed, the t-shirt.
Sorry, I'm wearing an only New York t-shirt that's like an athletic driven graphic.
It's like a gym. It's like a school gym shirt.
Yeah.
We haven't done a fit check in like weeks. I think we're very like Lawrence and I mean, we're very rusty. So
I would like to talk about Only. Saeed, is that like a brand you've been supporting for a long time? Because I think that fundamentally they kind of fall into the world that James and I love, which is obviously this 18 East, add some ALD, the grown man streetwear world, Supreme as well. James loves Supreme. I should also shout out, what other brands does James love? James loves Bape. He loves Antisocial Social Club.
Wait,
loves
I'm unemployed. I can talk my shit now. I think Lawrence needs to shut the fuck up and stop drowning me out. And as a white man, needs to just zip it. No, we don't fuck with, or some of us fuck with those brands. A lot of us don't. But yeah, Only New York. Is that a brand that you've been fucking with for a minute, or is this like a recent?
Yeah.
Because they've had a recent resurgence. It seems like I don't know if they hired a design team, a new design team, or what.
I think it's like I don't know if their internal team changed too much, but they have. I don't know. I've always just been a fan of just like how they approach design and just like how simplistic and just like thoughtful each design was, and just like the tastefulness of it. But I've been buying Only since like 2012, 2013, since I was in like high school.
Oh shit!
I think Lawrence and I agree that their collab with like the New York Parks Department, I think like really brought it back for us because it was like understated. It was a super dope collaboration partner, and they knocked out the park with that, literally.
Absolutely. So for you growing up, Saeed, it was more about like I think to borrow a phrase from James here, I think he'll be okay with the credit. You were more of like an if you know streetwear kid than being like I'm gonna cop Supreme.
Yeah. Well, like I started with like 10 Deep, Supreme, and like Bape, and like that was like the hype. Like I was super into that, and then I don't know, you just like you just start to learn the other brands participating in that space, and then it's like you just evolve and like your taste just grows. And I just started fucking with Only a lot because I was just kind of like reaching like that streetwear reaches like menswear vibe, and like I was just trying to be like a bit more tasteful in my choices. So I was wearing like desert boots and like shit like that. Like during that era, I was wearing just like their camp. Like I was really obsessed with their hats in like high school.
The hats were the 5 panels and the cap
5 panels.
Big time.
What? Speaking of hats, what do you got on top? What's the cap?
I got a hat from Praying, and it's like the big, extra thick Yankee logo.
A lot of New York on your body right now.
Yeah, bro.
I know. I didn't plan this. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I'm.
Is that like? I mean, we're going to talk about Philadelphia later, and the meat and potatoes, which is coming at the top of the episode. Plot twist.
Yeah.
But like in Philly, I mean, we'll talk about the whole streetwear scene in Philly. But like, I don't know if this is really a thing. But if you walk around with a whole bunch of New York logos on yourself in Philly, like, do people have a chip on their shoulder with that? Do you kind of like catch side eye or anything?
There's definitely a lot of like Philly pride for sure. Like my one friend called me out for wearing this hat a couple of times. He was like, dude, what the fuck? Buy a Phillies hat. I'm just like, dude, I bought this hat because I like this brand. Like
fly bitch.
Yeah, and I'm not like a big sports dude, and like that's all it comes from that. Like, and everyone's like super obsessed about like all the sports teams here, and I don't care about sports at all. So I just wear whatever I want to wear, and like I don't know, I just fuck with the hat, and I fuck with Only, so I just like wear it. I just wear what I want to wear, essentially.
Wait, so Saeed, you're not a Phillies sports trash fan? You're not one of these types?
It's just like I've never like I was into sports in like middle school and like. But like once I reached high school, I was just kind of like I don't know.
You heard it here first. Sports are for babies, according to.
Well, like I just like I don't know. I just started getting like I was at that point. I was like really into gaming, and I just like didn't give a shit about.
Oh, we're gonna talk about fucking gaming. Don't even trip. All right, what about? So we got to talk about any.
What about Gritty? I just want to ask about Gritty. What are your thoughts on Gritty, real quick?
He's a fucking maniac. I don't know who designed that guy, but he looks insane. But he gets he gets
pussy. Gritty gets a lot of pussy. He gets.
Oh yeah, he gets it for sure. He's a Philly favorite.
Gritty gets the slitty.
Yeah. On that note, let's talk about. Are you bedazzled? I see some necklaces.
Oh yeah, it's actually it's the Eagles logo.
That's stolen valor.
Yeah, you are. This is cultural appropriation of sports.
Like
culture.
The reason. I don't wear it because I like the Eagle. I wear it because it's just like in memory of like my dad. Like he was like the big
he was an Eagle.
fan.
He was a bird.
He was the Eagle.
That's
like,
brain damage, the alcoholic stolen valor. You can't take it from those people. You can't just take that.
Their culture is not your costume.
Yeah, show some respect, bro. Show some respect for the absolute worst people in society.
Yeah. For the pillars of their culture are booing. The pillars of their culture are booing Santa.
Yeah.
And Michael Irvin when he's broke his back.
Yeah.
What about the panties? We can't forget about the panties. Also, sorry, is it only one necklace that you're wearing?
Yeah, just one.
Like
just
a
one.
few.
That's
Okay.
Any rings? Any rings?
I used to wear rings, but no rings. I'm really weird with my hands. Like I need to feel all of my hands, and like I need my hands to be clean at all times. I'm like a very like obsessively clean hand guy.
What's your hand soap of choice?
I've been using what's that one company that it's nothing fancy. I think it's like they're like eco-friendly. I forgot the fucking name.
Yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I fucking forgot. Yeah. No, it's not mine. I buy it at fucking it's available at Target.
Do you sleep with
I don't know.
that have lotion in them?
Fuck no.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to ask. It seemed like you cared about your hands. I don't know.
Yeah, seriously.
I like them clean. Lotion might be too much.
Lest we forget, Saeed, the panties. What are we rocking under the pants?
Oh, Hanes briefs.
Briefs, not boxer briefs. Briefs. Yo, that's an interesting. I feel like there's been this debate on the show. James is a fan of boxing.
No, I mean, I understand that I'm in the minority. I understand I'm in the minority here. That's fine.
Normal people are the rest of us on the show, and the populace. At least the populace that has dicks and balls, they wear boxer briefs. I'd like to hear the briefs. Please tell me make the argument for briefs.
Like me?
Sure. Talk to us about your penis.
I don't. I don't know. It's just like it's comfortable to have it. Like it just feels nice to walk out of the shower, and dry up, and just put like nice briefs on. Like it just, for me, it's comfortable. I like to be secure.
I mean, your shit is wadded up in this fucking prison of cotton. You're wearing pants. The AC's on 70. Your shit must be fucking swamped out. You got Shrek dick.
It's the goddamn cotton industrial complex.
We got good vibes over here. I love this. This is ideal.
All right, I think
the soap was Method.
Oh, Method. Yeah, of course.
Shout out Method. Method.
Oh, yeah.
I believe retweeted one of the 3 Throwing Fits TikToks that are public and exist, which is very embarrassing.
Yeah. We did not do a good job of the wipe it down challenge.
Wipe. Yeah. You know the fucking vibes, man. We're cool. We're not 33 years old.
Yeah. On the tiki-taki. All right.
What do you call me?
Fit check complete. Normally, I just, a word to our listeners. Lawrence and I, we're always, what are we doing? We're ideating, we're innovating, and we're futurizing.
And we're creating futurism.
So, listen up, motherfuckers. Welcome to the new normal, right? This is not a return to normalcy. Fuck Joe Biden. We're not going back to the way things were. Things are going to be a little different now. Some minor, some major, some lazy, some just slightly less lazy. But one of the things we're going to do is we are going to flip the script here and start off with the meat and potatoes as the free episode. And at least for this episode, hopefully we'll see how we do. Put the fuck with, not fuck with whole recommendation portion of the podcast behind the paywall for our best friends of the Patreon, because they deserve to know they're looking to get better. They're looking to better themselves, their family, everyone around them. So we're going to start off with 3 main subjects of this podcast, which are money.
Sick.
Lawrence?
I wanted to say something about we had to switch the show because it was just irresponsible to make people pay for the important stuff. Now we have to give it away for free. That's just the paradigm shift. That's not even that.
We're gonna try stuff out. One of the things that is a new version of what we previously did is we are eliminating dad ass. And now the 3 main subjects of this podcast are money, fapping and clapping, and most importantly, ourselves.
I did not approve this.
We're just trying it out, Lawrence. Just relax. Saeed, we're going to start off with the 3rd and most important topic, which is ourselves. I want to ask you this. Lawrence may mention this, but you're 25 years old. You run a small business, and you are on the cusp of some very, very big things. So you're basically a younger version of us. Maybe why don't you offer up some constructive criticism to us? Like, how can we cater to a younger audience besides launching the TikTok? How can we kind of cater to the younger millennials and the Gen Z? Because like,
how do we
fuck the older
reach these
millennials,
kids?
they're gonna be dead soon.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not trying to sell I'm not trying to, like, just like you're not trying to sell my dad a t-shirt, I'm not trying to fucking get my dad to listen to a podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I don't know. I guess I truly haven't thought about that since I'm participating already in the space. It just comes, I just act as I am. And
Well, this is a worthless fucking podcast for us.
I don't know how to explain that.
All right, Saeed, thank you for coming on the only podcast.
This has been good. Yeah.
No. Okay. All jokes aside, we want to know about All Cap Studio. It's a relatively new brand. Chuck has been riding for you for a minute. You know, I think I speak for all of us. We came to know you through Antonio and 18 East. Yeah, tell us and the folks at home. Like, tell us about All Cap Studio. What's the driving philosophy behind it?
Hit us with the elevator pitch, baby.
Yeah. Okay, so All Caps comes into play 2 years ago. I was just trying to find this, like, it started very photo driven. Like, I was just trying to find more things to do with my photo practice, and then eventually I just got really tired of what came out of photography and just like through the business of that. So I was just trying to find like different ways, and I've always participated in streetwear. So I was just trying to figure out what was next. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna start like just randomly just made a t-shirt and just dropped it on the internet, and just like the response was kind of insane. That's just like off rip.
Were you just selling to your friends? Like, who were you, like, it was just to the homies?
Essentially, or just through mostly the homies and just like people who were following me on Instagram at the moment. And I just dropped like a limited run of tees, and like I did some tote bags afterwards, and it made me like they all this way, and it made me feel good. So I was like, this feels right. I'm just gonna continue doing this. But it's like just the learning curve of learning how to design was a big one, and just like I'm still going through that process now. But essentially, it's just like the brand takes on a very optimistic viewpoint, just because that's just like my view of life. And just like and like a lot of the stories we tell come from that light, and like a lot of it is based in like reference of just like sharing ideas that I like, and like share things I like in general. And like a lot of the products that we release have some sort of like reference points to something. Like the Peace and Love Toe was like a ode to like a song that I was really into, and like the hopes was like through that design, like people like would tap into that song and learn to appreciate this artist and their music and like all that kind of stuff. And the same with like the sweatsuit. Like the sweatsuit was derivative of a book called The Guidebook to Higher Consciousness, and like it just talks about like these crazy ways of like thinking and perceiving the world, and like it's just like viewpoints to things that I think are interesting, and just like a way of, honestly, at the end of the day, just being like people to get together and talk about things and just like build community.
It's a window into who you are as a person.
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
There's a lot of like new age, not necessarily hippy dippy, like, you know, crunchy shit, and not necessarily like, you know, like live, love, laugh, or whatever, like Karen shit.
Right.
Like true, like 70s, like
Karen culture.
Yeah, exactly. Like astral projecting to like a higher plane.
Yeah, that's the some of the vibes. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, we love. Yo, listen.
All right, let's back up for a second. Why don't you just tell us?
It's freeing your fucking mind, dog.
Exactly. Astral projection. All right, Saeed, back up real quick. Where are you from? And like, what's that neighborhood like? You mentioned North Philly and the 990s, but like, tell us where you're actually from.
Yeah. Okay.
Just like, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, sick. So I'm from North Philly, from like a small neighborhood called Felonville. And I grew up there, born and raised. I moved around a lot.
In North Philadelphia.
Born and raised.
I had to do it.
Well, my days.
All right, so Fentonville. Tell us about Fentonville, because all I know is fucking Fishtown, and that's full of armed militia white dudes. Yeah, you're from Fentanyl.
Yeah.
Fentanyl, Pennsylvania?
Fentanyl. Yeah, that's where I'm from. Yeah, man, that's what I grew up in, like it's a very small neighborhood, and like not too many people, like even from Philly, like it's like like if you're not from North Philly, like you probably wouldn't know that area, just because like there's nothing to do in that area unless you like live there. I was born and raised there, and I bounced around a bit as a kid, but like I always would like return to Felonville. But like, yeah, it was like a really weird experience growing up there, because it's like at the core of it is very kind of just like impoverished. So like as a kid running around, you're just like running in like literally the streets and just like people are just like you're playing on the streets that people are just fucking shooting at the night before, and just like people are like in the neighborhood are like selling drugs, and like it's like a very intense sort of vibe. And just like, I mean, at the time as kids, you don't realize that because you're just trying to have fun, and like you're with the neighborhood like the kids, and like you're just like running around playing tag and shit. But like once you get older and realize what's happening, it's kind of intense. And just like
what age does that happen? When does that shift happen? Do you remember?
It happened. I think I started to realize that neighborhood for like that it was like that vibe maybe around like 10 or 11. But like it took me a while to like grasp what, like, because I hadn't like, because at that point I started to like, I got to experience the Northeast a bit. Like my parents was just trying to figure out the next home, and like the Northeast at the time was a bit more suburban, so you get to like taste like what another sense of life was. And then we came back to Belleville because it's I forgot what happened, but we left that house. So I got to taste like a bit of suburbia, and just like went back into like the city again. So I was like, oh shit, like this is not the same as like this other neighborhood. Like that. We don't have a park across the street. Like we don't have any of that. So it started to like click a little bit, but I still didn't like really grasp it and then make sense of it. But yeah, it's just like a neighborhood that is just like, if you are born there, you probably don't leave there. Like your mentality is like this small neighborhood. Like you only know like 10 blocks. And it's kind of just weird. Like if you're either eventually growing up to get involved with like some street shit, or you get involved with like some drug shit, or like you're going through school, which schools fucking suck. And then you're working at like a dead end job, and like that's life. So like all the options are fucked. Like, and like you just can't do anything about, like, it's just like, it's insane to see. And like all my friends that were from there are still over there doing the same shit, and it's like in and out of jail. That shit is just like insane to see. Yeah, it's crazy. But like I was very fortunate to have a really good family to just like continue pushing me, and just like everyone in my like are, at least like my parents are like very hardworking, so they enforced that on us, and just like told us to keep going, and just gave us the drive. And like luckily that somehow got us out.
Did you have friends growing up in your neighborhood that were like into streetwear or some version of streetwear, like you mentioned before, 10 Deep? Like, how did you find that? Just on the internet, or did you have homies that were into it as well? How'd that work?
I found 10 Deep through the internet. I found like streetwear through the internet, because I was like, I didn't get into clothing until like freshman year in high school. And I got into clothing because my brother was trying to just force me to be into things. Like he was just trying to take me to parties and like make me experience life, because at the time I was just like really into gaming. I didn't give a shit about anything else. And I'm just like, dude, I'm just trying to get these wins. And like my brother's like, dude, this
these scrumptious dubs.
And like my brother's like, dude, there's more to life to like this game. So I was like, no, there's not.
There's t-shirts.
And t-shirts, yeah. So he was like trying to introduce me to like fashion, and like he's the one that got me to photography, and like he just kept pushing me to like experience life more. And I experienced clothing through him, but like the entry point wasn't streetwear. I think that like he introduced me to like Hollister and like
capital F fashion, capital F fashion.
That's
like
really
that world of fashion. And like that was like, but like those brands were really cool in my high school.
I agree.
If you had Abercrombie, you were the guy. Like that's Strip City right there.
All those fucking stores, yeah, they were fucking like concept stores in the mall. That's what people.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the thing that James scoffs at, because he grew up in the city going to Yellow Rat Bastard and whatever fucking fake
Rubber
ass,
Soul, Yellow Rat Bastard,
whatever fucking Disney-ified, streetwear store that he was going to. Like there's its own version in malls in New Jersey that are selling like a Ralph Lauren 360-degree like concept brand to kids through like Hollister and Abercrombie. It was like genius, but I'm with you. I get it. That's a gateway drug for a lot of white privileged people. What can I say? It's the fact.
The first step warrants is acknowledging it.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, what about, so you started working P's and Q's at a pretty young age. Like, was that kind of your first foray into the industry, like as a person working in the marketplace?
Wait, what's P's and Q's? I don't even know.
P's and Q's is like streetwear. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so P's and Q's is like a streetwear meets menswear retail store and on South Street. But before that was Abacus Takeout, and I started working there in my sophomore year of high school. And then that was like my entry point to like streetwear, learning what the culture was, and like my hands-on like experience to that culture, which Abacus turned to P's and Q's, and I've experienced all that.
What brands were at like P's and Q's? Like, paint me a picture of what's on the racks.
So we got Carhartt Whip, we got Norse Projects, we got Stussy, we got it's what else we got? Saturdays. There's
it's legit a good store.
Yo, this is some pure unleaded diesel, dude. You guys had fucking heat. Why have I never heard of this store?
Yeah.
Did this store never, like, okay, and I don't want to, I'm not shitting on this store at all, to be clear, but I feel like there was a lot of local stores like this that, like, popped off during the menswear blog era where it's like, yo, I don't never been to the store, but I shop their web store because the curation is so tight, and I've never heard of P's and Q's, so I'm just like, was it popping? Like, what was the deal?
It was good, but like
it's a bit of I believe it's a bit of an if you know you know situation.
Okay, right.
Yeah,
I mean they're still around.
It's just still around, and I think a lot of the business was based off physical like interaction and just like the community in that space, like opposed to like the internet space. I think the guys there really pride themselves on like customer service and like in person and like creating like that vibe like as soon as you walk in. So like it was like mainly a Philly thing. Like if you were,
correct me if I'm wrong, Saeed, but it sounds like P's and Q's because I have a homie from Philly, actually with the Big Hog, and he's always touting P's and Q's, and it sounds like it is very like they don't necessarily have ambitions to become like a national or international empire. They're very content with just like servicing the Philly streetwear scene, which is like more robust than you would think. I think it just gets overshadowed by New York maybe, and even like DC to the south, which we'll talk about a little bit. But so what were you doing at P's and Q's? Were you just like a retail dude on the floor?
A gopher?
So essentially, like if you work there, the team is so small. So like when I was working there, it was myself, there was Fran, there was Amir, there was the owner Key, and then the other owner Rick. So it was like 5 of us running the brand, the store, social media, events. So like if you were working there, you're pretty much doing everything. When I was there, I was doing a lot of the social media photography. I was in the retail store doing just like the retail stuff, helping planning events, doing some of the, like the assisting buying, and just like, I don't know, just like being completely immersed and involved. Like I was just like, pretty much essentially working side by side with the owner. So it was just like literally doing everything. So it was kind of, it was just like,
I don't know if you shot a lot of the lookbooks or the editorials. I don't know if, sorry to mention that.
Yeah. So pretty much all photo content for like most of the years there were essentially shot by either me or Key.
And you and I were talking about this yesterday a little bit. I think like in this moment, streetwear has to kind of recognize that it is 1,000% just built off Black culture, and stems from that. And it does, morph and cater itself in different ways to, or morph and tweak itself to cater to white people. And you mentioned that during your like 10 years at P's and Q's, like you're there for a minute, that a lot of times you found yourself kind of like changing or catering to the white customer. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, it was just like, I didn't realize this until like my later year, but like, I don't know, like in my natural life and just like in life in general, I'm very just like listening to rap almost always. But like when I would get to the store, it was almost never, like we would play rap, but it was just like not like contemporary, like it was just like curated rap to like, that was just like not, I don't know, like there's a way to explain, but like I just couldn't listen to what I was listening to there, and I was just kind of bummed about it. Like you always just have to play, like I would just like alter out to like house or just like indie rock or something just to make the vibe a bit easier, because you just essentially just, I don't know, like you can hear like if I was playing, I don't know, Young Thug or like Chief Keef or something like that, or like a Lil Uzi, like I mean Lil Uzi could probably pass in Philly, but like it's like that general sense of like.
Yeah. But when it came to what rap that you could play, you're talking about like Wu-Tang, like Backpack, like Golden.
Right. Like you could play that, but you can't play Young Thug. You can't play Lil Baby. Like you just like that vibe or something. Something about that just like makes.
You could play Beanie Siegel. You could definitely play Beanie Siegel. Freeway, right?
Could you play Meek? Could you play Meek? Could you play Meek?
Meek got some songs. I feel like yeah, you can play Meek. You can play Meek, but like even like Meek, I feel like sometimes. Like even that was like a stretch because like
really
like his vibes are just like they're kind of like intense and like if you're not about me, like it could probably just throw you off a bit.
I don't want to be screamed at when I shop, but that's just me personally speaking. You know what I'm saying?
I love
dreams.
Meek. I love Meek to death, but like, yeah, I was just like, I couldn't play him much at the store. I would love to. I would have loved to do that. But like, it was just like that mentality.
Did you have
So
to
weird.
kind of like, did you find yourself maybe like acting as like translator for these white customers at all who maybe like wanted to be, down with the culture, but didn't necessarily like get it or I don't know, like you spent years on the floor. You tell us.
Yeah, I never was the vessel to like explain it to people. Like I was always just the guy. Like I connected with people. Like if you knew, you knew. Like if you were like about that vibe, like I could connect with you at that point. But I was never the teacher of it. Like I would never just be like, oh, you should fuck with these people because they're like pushing the rap culture right now. But like, I was mostly like my priority as just like being at the store was just to make people feel comfortable. So I usually just generally leaned into whatever they're like. I just gauged what their vibes were more than they gauged what my vibes were, I think.
Word. On the side or, simultaneously, you also talked about how you're doing some freelance photography at the time. And you said that kind of like, in the moment you were just trying to get your foot in the door or, get paid, but now kind of with hindsight being 2020, you feel like you were treated unfairly?
Yeah, because it was just like, I don't know, like I was doing, like when I was doing freelance and like working at the store, so I was like waking up early to shoot stuff for the store or like do freelance work, going to the store to work until 7, and then sometimes leaving there to go shoot at night. And then that was like my day. Like I was always just taking photos and just always just trying to learn how to do what was next. But like, I don't know, I was just trying to get better. Like I was just trying to become a really good photographer. So I was doing whatever it took to learn that and just put in the hours and practice. And I was all in for a while. But like once I got good enough to like start charging for stuff, it was like, it was always just weird, just pricing. And like a lot of people, once I threw out prices, wouldn't accept it. And then it was just like always just back and forth battle. Like I just felt like they were throwing lower rates at me because they know I was like so eager and like so willing to just like work and just like get it done. And that could have been for multiple reasons. Maybe this, I don't know, it could be because the color of my skin that they decided to price it lower, or just like didn't see my value as being, oh, like he's actually good. Like it was always a lot of proving to do.
Yeah.
There was no explicit racism, but this was like obviously implicit bias on the people that were potentially hiring you for gigs.
Right. Like now I know like some of the rates of like the stuff I was shooting. Like I remember shooting, there was like this new sushi spot opened up in the West Philly, and they wanted like social, they wanted a website, they wanted just like a full rollout. And they, this is the most money I ever received for photography. They quoted me at $1,600 for the shoot. And to me, that was just mind blowing. But now looking back, a service like that is like a $10K plus service.
Yo, you got finessed, kid.
I got finesse hard.
My apologies. Yellow peril stands with black power. But yeah, so yes, you're getting these jobs, but at like the expense of your pockets.
Right, exactly. And I didn't realize that because I was just hungry. I was like, I just want to make money. I want to make this my full-time thing. So I would do it, but like it wasn't. Yeah, it took me a long time to realize what the costs were, or like how to figure like what was happening.
Yeah,
well,
and that could be.
Yeah. Speaking of that, with hindsight now being obviously 2020, and you have all this new perspective, if there for a young black photographer listening right now that's just looking to get their foot in the door, but at the same time not getting taken advantage of, like what would be like a piece of advice you would throw out there, or pieces of advice? Where could they start?
I mean, I know I would definitely say speak to as many photographers as you can, because I know I wish I should have and should have did that. Like this, but like I'm always just weird with money. Like I just don't know like how to go about money. Like I don't know how
it's a super taboo subject, which is why we love to talk about it.
Very good, very very not below board.
Yeah.
You know,
so it's always a weird thing to like. I was lucky to make friends in photo, and they would like disclose like what rates they were charging and like how to properly like charge yourself, like rate yourself, and like all that. And I wish I had that in like early on. And it's like, I wish I was asking those kind of questions early on because that shit helps a lot.
Yeah.
And I would just, ask questions. Don't feel weird about asking about what you should charge yourself at, like what rates are for what jobs, and just, I don't know, make friends in that space. And I don't know, just lead with good intentions.
I mean, two things. So like one is that I think salary transparency is a very like of the moment thing right now where a lot of people, especially in media, but, hopefully, and that extends to freelancers, mostly writers, but for sure, like freelance creative directors, producers, photographers, the more information out there, like the more empowered you are. And the other thing is I know for a fact that a lot of, there's a lot of these like very small, nimble kind of like talent agencies popping up that are representing young creatives that aren't necessarily like big enough or have a huge following or experience to sign on with like bigger agencies. But, they handle the dirty work of talking about money because like a lot of times it is a dirty topic and it's really hard to kind of like represent yourself. And it's much easier if you want to just focus on the creative to kind of hand that conversation off to someone else whose expertise is like negotiating and is like finessing a bag that is fair. For the work you're putting in.
Just us, just throwing fits. Let's talk about us. We signed with a boutique little agency you might have heard of, William Morris Endeavor. It happens.
All right, so you're freelancing along. You're fucking putting on golden era wrap in the store, shooting photos of sushi rolls or whatever. Literally Philadelphia rolls. When did you know? Like, was there a moment or like what was your thought process behind launching All Caps?
They're really like, I don't think I had much of a plan. Like I just recently just started developing a plan for it within like the last couple months. Like for the most part, it was just like
that recently?
I was working. Yeah. Like it didn't start really until this year. After the Mr. Green pop-up was like, that was like, when we were like, okay, this can be like, we can probably do this full time if we put everything.
Wait, so can I ask you a question, Saeed? So if I would remember correctly, like if I found out about you and what you do through 18 East, it would have originally been as you were taking photos, right?
Yeah.
This is crazy. So I think that's what, and not to get sidetracked here, but just to fucking gas up my mans real quick. This has all happened in real time. Like this is again, like this has happened in the past year, and it's such a, and not that I think anyone is like half listening or half tuned out. This is obviously a fantastic podcast because of me and James, really, if we're being totally frank. No thanks.
What about Chuck? I think Chuck's really contributed.
But what I think is so interesting and so cool about your thing is that this is the glow up in real time that we've seen in our space. And this could be literally not anybody because like you got to be good. Saeed is good. He has taste, but like it's so tangible and it's just, listen, maybe I'm a little high right now. Either way, this is a very interesting case study point that I want to fucking hammer home to the 18 million people tuned in. That's all.
Well, that's the other thing. I think that if you're a freelance photographer or stylist or whatever, like get fucking credited on the IG post because that is how you get discovered.
Clout.
And that like clout's real. Like clout is currency. Like don't be silent just because like.
Can we episode title Cloud is Real? I like that.
Yeah. I mean, again, like Lawrence would not have found like Chuck. Chuck, you are the one that truly put us on. I mean, Antonio for sure, 18 East, but like Chuck, why don't you tell us like how you kind of stumbled and bumbled and fumbled your way onto All Cap Studio? Because you've been like, yo, Saeed is the fucking shit. Let's talk to him.
Yeah, well, you guys know I'm
when you wake up at 12 p.m. That's the first.
I told you that in confidence, and as we all know, I'm a graphic teesman. I'm a graphic tee hound. I see graphic tees, I hound them. So I was scrolling through the timeline, and that orange T-shirt, I was just like, damn, what the fuck? This is one of the hardest shits I've ever seen, and I love orange. And ever since then, I hit the follow button, and I've been keeping up. I also am shocked that this was like just the beginning. So yeah. I'm impressed.
Yeah. Just like us, Mans is on the cusp. He's on the precipice.
Yeah. You love to fucking see it, dude.
I mean, and credit to Antonio because he legitimately like tags everyone, puts everyone on.
He gave Saeed the platform.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. That being said, though, Saeed, like if your shit sucked, we wouldn't fuck with you.
Yeah. And that's just facts, Jack. That's just facts, man.
Maybe that's the alternative. That's the subtitle. If your shit sucks, we won't fuck with you. No cap.
No caps. No cap.
But no, for real, like your graphics, I mean, they are next level. I mean, they're definitely on trend with like what's out there, but they're very unique. Yeah. They're not like, hippy dippy Grateful Dead shit. They're more this like West Coast, like, yoga retreat cult shit.
More Joshua Tree. It's a Joshua Tree vibe. And this is the thing that again is a great thing to take away is Saeed is doing something original, but he's fusing it with what is already kind of like accepted as something that is enjoyable by a lot of people, even just aesthetically speaking. Generally, there's nothing wrong with understanding that you want to like appeal to as many people as you possibly can, and that is the essence of the sweet spot, ladies and gentlemen.
So why don't we talk about we talked about the Love and Peace t-shirt. Why don't we just jump ahead real quick and talk about the Black Lives Matter t-shirt that you just put out with Antonio? And we're going to get into it in detail. I just want to focus on the design aspect of it because there's a lot of t-shirts where proceeds are going to important organizations and, for the cause. Design-wise, this might be like top 2 and not number 2. So I guess my question is like, what's the design process? What was the design process behind this specific t-shirt?
Dude, I didn't like. It's really, really. It's hard for me to explain exactly how that whole thing was processed. I was just like, Antonio reached out to do the shirt maybe a week before, and there was no like. He just put the idea out. He was like, "Dude, we should do something for this. Let's raise money, and let's give 100% profits to funds of our choice." And I was like, "Dude, totally on." And I don't know. That whole week, I was just really, pissed and angry and just upset. And literally that whole week was just like kind of depressing for me. I was just like legit crying every day. It was just like really hard. And like eventually, I just got tired of being sad, and I was just like, "Yo, let's put this energy into like a really good space." And I just that weekend, I designed the shirt, and I also designed this poster that was repasted in front of Middle Child, and I just channeled my energy into a different space and just felt like I just legit just put my heart into it. And that's usually just how I design in general. I just put it like everything just comes from feeling rather than just like logically putting it together. It's just like a vibe that I just feel.
Is that why you think your shit resonates? Because it comes from this like emotional place? Because that's the thing, right? Like people want to buy cool stuff. And I think that there is a bit of superficial materialism that is wrapped up in this world. Like we can all be self-aware and agree that that's part of it. But this idea of like connecting on an emotional level, not like with a piece itself, though I'm sure we've all seen stuff and been like, God damn, I need that shit from like a visceral sexual place. But like just, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I want to fuck the sneakers.
Yeah, exactly. Right. But this idea of connecting with a brand or someone like you who is the brand, a person, right? For all intents and purposes, like this idea of like finding one's counterpoint in their soul in another. Just like that kind of deal. Do you think that plays into it, or is that something that just happens naturally? You don't try to do that, I would imagine.
I don't try to like. I always just like that's just like the way I approach design. Like I'm not a classically trained designer, so I don't know how to design by like true like technical standpoints. So like my best approach is just doing what feels right, and like a lot of that time just putting like my energy and my emotions and my vibes into it, and like whatever comes from that, and whatever like I usually if it feels right, I just go with that.
Have you ever designed like an evil garment, like a garment for evil versus for good? And if you haven't, what would that look like? And how do I get one?
Now he's on his MF Doom supervillain shit.
No, that's some real mad villainy.
Oh God, yeah, we gotta put some skull.
I just want to read. I just want to read the phrases on the shirt because this is obviously like everything's a slogan now. Everything fits nicely in a little IG
man's
box.
About to spit right now. You want a beat? Should I get hit with a beat?
No, I'm gonna read the shirt. The front graphic, the front chest piece has "What you allow will continue," and on the back it says "Silence is violence. Black Lives Matter. The breath that built America is being choked by the hands that brought it here. They demand we shut up and know our place. but what we allow will continue. Breathe in, speak up, take action. Where did that come
Bars.
Bars. That is
Bars.
So like that part got revised by Antonio. I'm trying to pull up what I originally said there, but what I said was a bit more intense.
Kill all white people.
Yeah.
Which I would have copped 2 pairs.
Cops.
Yeah, I would have copped 2 pairs.
I'm trying to pull it up, but I'm gonna paraphrase, but it was like on the lines of like black people are being killed at the hands of white America, and like speak now, do something, say something, as lives are being lost every day, or like something along that line.
Very, very to a Pimp a Matty post.
Yeah, and then I think the vibe like it was just like a bit too intense, and like Antonio kind of like just approached it.
That was original writing.
Yeah,
between you guys.
Yeah. We settled on that. Yeah.
Get your umbrellas out because that's when he brainstorms, dude. That's off the pad, kid.
Off the top.
Yeah.
And what are the two like on the front? On the front, we have a whole bunch of people holding up like a sphere. And thank you for putting not putting the USA or the North American continent in the middle. We are not a Eurocentric fucking platform. You put Africa and the Middle East and South Asia right here. So like, where did that graphic come from? And then what's the graphic on the back? Like, what's the reference that you pulled for that?
So the front graphic is, I found the image. I don't know how I found that image. I do a lot of research and I just like source things, and I just have a bunch of images saved on my computer. And I think that was in reference to an agriculture ad, and just like it was just like I think the people holding up the world, like the globe, was like how the world gets supported by food, and like it's all, I think the people are all black people, and like to me that it resonated more with what was happening now than like through the agriculture. So I really just used that and just like played with that and just half-toned it, and I really loved that I was showing Africa as like the main continent. So I was like, fuck yeah, let's use that. And the back is a sculpture that is from, I'm trying to pull up the artist right now because I forgot his name. But it's a sculpture. But like overall, just like the vibe of that sculpture to me just felt very eerie. Like it's just like showing half a face, and like that to me just alludes to death. And like it's like connects with the idea that silence is violence. Like if you don't say anything, like people will continue dying. And I just wanted to hit people with that message really hard.
And do you believe that anybody says that you shouldn't have a fashion podcast because it's an audio medium and we're talking about fucking visual media? This is fucking incredible shit, dude.
Go to the IG and peep yourself. And this is the second collab that you did.
My man's doing the 30 for 30 on his Photoshop. This is like level, dude.
Yeah, this is the second one. The first one we did was when the 18 store opened. We did like a white hoodie that was just like dedicated to the store. I think the back graphic had like a lotus flower and it was like the address to the store. I forgot what else it said, but that was like the first thing we did. So we've been working together for a little bit, and I love where it's leading. And like the process of collaborating has gotten really, really nice. Antonio just honestly just lets me do my thing, which is like invaluable because most of the time people just drive me fucking crazy and I can't really work in that way.
Just shut up and design.
Do it the way I really
shut up and scribble.
Nice.
That's a good title. That's a good title too. Yeah.
We have 3 titles. Cloud is real. If your shit sucks, we don't fuck with you. And shut up and scribble.
Wait, Chef, can you do me a favor? Can I get a flex bomb right here? Thank you very much, bro.
How do you first link up with Antonio? Like, and obviously you were shooting his editorials, but then like when did you guys start doing like John's collabs?
So everything happened because of Cameron. Do you guys know Cameron? Cameron Booth?
Big gang.
Sure. Big gang. So he originally, I met Cameron when he was in Philly. He went to Drexel he went to college here. And he came to the store with his mom trying to figure out what was happening in the city.
With his mom?
Mommy, I want the Saturdays.
Not to expose
Mommy. They have Norse projects.
Mommy, I would like some Johns, Mommy. Mommy, can I have a John? I was good. Could baby have a John, Mommy? That's Cameron.
The t-shirt has a graphic on it, Mommy.
Yo, Cameron, if you're listening, this is you, motherfucker.
Yeah. I'm baby John's.
They have an amazing relationship, and they came to
him and his mom.
They just like, I don't know, they're amazing. I love those people. And they came by just trying to figure out the landscape of Philly and just trying to see what was happening. And they met up with Philip Tianen in New York previously, and they asked them what was happening in Philly, and they recommended you baking PZQs. And I think they went to Bo, and I was in the store when they visited. And I just immediately connected with him. And then he started, once he went to Drexel, we started working just like, I needed help with like photo stuff, just like coming up with ideas. And he was like helping me with that. And then eventually we just became friends, and like we started working on other projects. And then, I don't know, he became like a big homie. And then he eventually went to New York to go to Parsons, and then was looking for internships up there. And it was in between at Cal Slaughter and 18 East, and he went with 18 East. And
shit. Can't lose.
Yeah.
Embarrassment of
Cam's the GOAT. Cam's the GOAT.
Cam's the GOAT, but my question is, does he still shop with his mommy?
Yeah.
He does not shop with his mommy. That man has impeccable taste.
That man's mommy has impeccable taste, bro.
She's a wonderful human. I love her.
That taste comes from somewhere, bro. That's called trickle down.
Yeah, shout out Cam's mom with the good genes. All right, so let's talk about this T-shirt though. It raised literally six figures. We're currently at $160,000. Is that right? What's the most recent? What's the most recent number?
So
Can you say?
I text Antonio right before this podcast. We are at 175K.
Sheesh. And we thought we were doing work with 27K.
Damn,
all right, so $175,000.
Way to flex nuts on our podcast.
Yeah.
That's our job, you dickhead.
What were like the initial expectations around the amount of money you would raise and like just performance?
Literally no expectations. The only expectation I had, because I had to reach out to the print shop beforehand, because I was like, we usually print stuff in-house, but for some reason I just had a feeling not to print this in-house. So I reached out. I was like, dude, give me a quote for like 150 T-shirts. And that was like our only expectations. And I think right now we're over 3,000 T-shirts.
You idiot. You fucking idiot, dude. So fucking dumb.
We didn't know what to...
This is why you should not negotiate on your behalf. You're always undermining. That's what it is.
Damn, can we give this man some self-confidence? What the fuck, bro?
You need to self-determine.
But like, it's like I've never sold... Like the most units we ever sold collectively was with the Mr. Green drop. We sold like over 200 units. Like
that's a lot.
Inclusive.
Oh, that's crazy. Those are
but that was like of multiple designs and garments. Like that was across tote bag, shirts, a bunch of stuff. So like it made sense for that. So like selling more than 100 of one thing is like mind blowing to me. Like once we reached 100 shirts sold, I was just like, dude,
bro, I hope mine gets here by Tuesday, because I have a big photo shoot. I'd love to wear it in the photo shoot. It's me by myself. They're doing Lawrence second later. They know the fucking vibes. You also posted so the shirt was obviously a huge success. You also posted recently a gallery of a bunch of the peace and love tote bags that people were rocking at the Black Lives Matter protests.
Oh yeah, I did that.
How did that feel? Because obviously it's such a unique moment in New York and Philly and in cities around the world. And to see your message be like, people are projecting your message at these very peaceful and very loving protests. What went through your head when you saw them?
Dude, it's always hard to explain that exact feeling. It's just like, it's kind of overwhelming and a lot to take in, because it's just like, they could wear and like do like they can like put on literally anything else, but they decide to put that on. It just like it blows me away, really. Like I just can't. It just it's mind blowing to me just to see people support in that way and just like really appreciate the ideas I have, because it's just like I never thought people would fuck with the shit I've been making. So it's like always just crazy, and especially during that time. It's just like, I don't know. It's like it just felt good to be able to contribute and like support and like, I don't know, contribute to that space in that way and have people like accept it. I don't know. It's kind of, it's just overall, it's very wild.
You ever go up to them and flex nuts and you're just like, hey, listen, Black Lives Matter also.
Never, not once. I would never do that.
Are you starting to get some recognition in Philly, because it is such a small world and small scene? Like, do people start to see you and be like, yo, you're the guy behind all caps?
Are you clouded? Are you clouded right now?
It happens. It definitely happens.
Are you the next little jacuzzi vertical?
Nowhere close. That guy's a goat. But It happens a lot. It happens a lot, and it's very awkward to me still. I don't know how to navigate that conversation, so I'm just like, yeah, I do that, and then I just ask them about them.
It's just humbling at this point because James and I were there, right? You know, we did this version of what you're doing like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Now we're we need it, or else we'll kill ourselves.
Yeah, well, you know, it's literally oxygen. It's how we feed ourselves. It's how we clothe ourselves. It's how we live.
It's all we got, baby. Well, I guess what I'm trying to say, Saeed, is enjoy it now, dude. I guess because that's much more complicated almost immediately. Well, how often does that happen? Like, is this like, and what is that? People like showing off the tote, or people being like, "Yo, let me get it," kind of flick up for the gram? Like, what's the level of recognition right now?
Yeah. I don't think I ever got flicked up before. Did I get flicked up before? I never.
If anybody listening to this sees Saeed in the streets, you got to ask to be flicked up now. Now you have to. The gauntlet has been thrown.
I did get flicked up at the protest, but that was still. Yeah, I don't really get flicked up that much.
Okay, well, listen. Put the call out.
You know what you got to do? You got to go back to the sushi spot that underpaid you and order 1,000 Philadelphia rolls and then fucking throw them on the ground or like donate them to like
dressed as Benjamin Franklin the whole time.
Yes, Mr. Moneybags.
Yeah, Mr. Franklin. So,
Black Ben Franklin is coming through to fuck shit up, dog. You already know.
Hey, let's talk about your one and true love, which is gaming. So obviously outside of designing, you are a fucking gamer. First question, first and foremost, are you
this man gets on the sticks, it's game over, bro.
Are you copying the PS5?
Oh, I'm copying the PS5.
Yo, run that price. What's the price? What is it? What is it called?
I think
500?
I hear like multiple. I hear 650.
650? Fresh new out the box. What was
the box?
I stopped gaming after Dreamcast. What does a PS4 cost?
I bought mine for 200.
Really?
Yeah, but it was like refurbished and like I think it's like 500 gigs. So it was like on the lower end. Of
wait.
PS4,
So you cop systems like computers now? You like choose the memory size and shit?
Yeah,
it's all tricked out.
Yo, it's wild.
Yeah.
Bro, what happened, bro?
I copped a PS4 for quarantine. I feel like it was the most regrettable cop I made the whole time. And I copped Heelys.
Make gaming great again, okay? That's what I'm trying to say. Come on, bro.
All right, so are you going to cop the PS5? Are you going to have sex with it? Because it does look like the sexy robot from WALL-E. And a question that Cam wants to know is how many hours a day do you spend gaming?
I'm copping the PS5. I'm not having sex with it. Okay. And
there is a hole in the back where the warm air blows out.
You gotta buy that attachment. It's Bluetooth. It's extra.
What was the last question? How many hours? Maybe I don't like game that much these days. Probably like 3 hours, 2 hours.
That's cap. That's cap.
I only do it. I'm really good about it. In quarantine, like I only do it after 7, and after 7, I only play with friends. So I gotta wait for friends to get on, and then only that is like 2 to 3 hours.
Did you have to set specific parameters around your gaming because it was wildly out of control?
When I first got the PS4, it was wildly out of control. That's the only thing I wanted.
What did that look like? Can you paint us a mental picture, please?
It was just like full on, just like itch. Like I would just wake up, I would play. I'd be like, all right, I gotta get off. And I would just like go try to do, like I have a studio down the street, so I'll walk over to the studio, and the whole time I would just be like watching YouTube videos of people play. Like I was just like doing any work, so I was like, fuck, I'm just gonna go home and play. And I would just play.
You were addicted.
I was like, but like this was. So I caught the PS4 again during quarantine also, and I didn't have a stage like gaming thing until like when I stopped gaming was like I was 16. I didn't have a console until then, until like right now. So like everything was just like coming back to me. So I was like, fuck, dude, I'm like back in it.
Bro, I take it all back. I don't think you were taken advantage of because you're a young black photographer trying to get your foot in the game. I think you were just spending all your time gaming. And that's why it took all caps so long to take off.
Yeah, bro.
No, I wasn't gaming during that time. I wasn't gaming. I just started gaming again.
This whole podcast sounds like a personal problem of a
true life.
True life. I'm addicted to gaming with the boys. I love it.
We have Antonio and Cam on. We just sent them the link. They're going to come in. This is actually a gaming intervention.
Yeah. Wait,
oh my god.
You play Tony Hawk with Antonio? Like what game? You know?
Call of Duty exclusively. Only Call of Duty.
Are you okay? So let's talk about your gaming. You're COD exclusively.
I like first person shooters, and like Call of Duty is the only one my boys play, so that's the only game I play.
Do you get to kill Nazis? What is that?
This one, are we fucking with, I don't think we're killing Nazi this one. Which one? I don't know the story. I don't know the story of this one. Like, I don't care. Like, I really don't dig too deep into campaign.
Wait, is this Warzone? Are we talking about Warzone?
So there's Warzone and there's a regular multiplayer. I do both. Well, Warzone is the shit.
What's the difference? I know nothing about gaming outside of Counter-Strike.
So Warzone is like the OG. Warzone's like the battle royale type where it's like Fortnite. It's like
but in a first-person shooter in this game.
Yeah.
But same concept. All right, got it. So that's what Chuck plays. So Chuck, you play Warzone with your boys?
Yeah, it's like 4v4v4v4 like a bunch of teams, and it's like real war type shit.
Chuck, what are your gaming hours?
10 p.m. to 4 a.m. Eastern.
Oh, that's cap. That's all cap.
Christ.
That's all cap. He told us the truth earlier. That was a test. That was a test, and he failed. That's all.
What are you talking about?
He told the truth. He games until 4:30 a.m. and then
10 p.m. to 4 a.m. Eastern. I'm not kidding.
Jesus Christ.
I actually have a problem. I've been like low-key biting my tongue this whole time.
I'm sorry. All right, let's turn this over. Chuck, don't put yourself on mute. I want to turn this over to the pro gamers here because I just do GTA 5. Like, how toxic is the online gaming world? It seems like a fucking cesspool. So let's talk about that.
It's a fucking nightmare. Like I now have a setting. My friend tapped me into this setting, like chat setting, where it's like mute everyone except for party, and I just run that because I'm just so like I'm just sick of hearing anyone else speak because it's like almost automatically racist every time.
Really?
It's just at first when I first started gaming, I had my username as just my name, and that was like immediate hell. Like they just read Saeed, just like, oh, you fuck. Like they just give me hell immediately. And I'm just like, all right, dude, I'm fucking over this. And then I eventually changed it to a meme reference. My new username is Yankee Only Brim. And like, it's a bit more of disguise.
Damn.
Very nice, very good name. Yo, so here's the thing that's crazy to me. So I was talking to James, was relaying this talking point to me, and I was very interested because I do play a little bit of. I've been known to dabble, play a little Siege. So you know what the fucking vibes are, bro. Just keep my hand-eye coordination up to fucking par. As a professional podcaster, it's purely training. I hate it, bro, and it's not like. And I guess there's the kind of person that would be like, "Oh, you're being a fucking bitch about it." Like, get past it. But it's so gross, dude. It's out of control. I don't even know. It is literally part of systemic racism. Literally, it's so out of control. I can't believe that you even like. I would just play on mute if I was you, dog.
Yeah,
That's what he just said.
Yeah. Essentially, I mute everyone. I don't even talk to anybody.
Oh, but you know people you play with. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, like I usually play with friends, and like if you're not in that party, I don't hear you speak.
Beyond your name, like, do they know that you're black or a person of color? Like, how does it work? Or are they just saying these racial slurs to anyone? Anyone can get the fucking racist smoke.
It's pretty much just like it's just like a way of to disrespect at this point. It was like if you take an L and you're upset about it, you're letting it go. And like the person could be any race, but they're just letting it go.
I don't think people even do it in a racist way. That's why it's so bad, because it's just completely devoid of context, which proves how the plot is completely being lost for like a generation of gamers. I will say, like, first of all, real gamer hours, gamers rise up. I know gamers listening to this pod, bro. I identify with the gaming mentality. Saeed, our guest of honor, is a gamer, but gamer culture, we need some virtuous gamers, is what I'm saying. Dude, that's all.
Not that this is like your job to do this, but have you ever confronted people when they like come at you?
Yeah,
do they back down or do they double down? Like, what's the typical reaction?
It's just no winning.
Racists.
It's just no winning. It's just like a back and forth, and like it just becomes a repetition. It's like the argument is like, I know you are, but what am I kind of thing. It's like never ending, and it's like you're just not going to win and like get to this person's head and convince them otherwise. So it's like a pointless battle. But like when I was really gaming hard, I would argue with people all day. Like I would just be in the lobby just for hours, just like arguing, and it's like people like I would just also
just
be
like ancient Greece when the philosophers would debate in an open.
Facts.
Have you seen?
And like it would just be.
Go ahead.
Yeah. And like I don't know, like it would just always be like a thing. Like once, like if they were on the other team, you just had to just flex on them. You just had to just destroy them because they're just like. And
You
then
have to murder them. You have to kill all racists. Murder all racists.
Yeah, for real, bro.
So it was just like a bigger reason just to go off a little bit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Not that I would expect them to necessarily, but have you seen any, or maybe not because you're using that mute function, but like, has there been any like more sensitivity or change or less hatred ever since like the protests have popped off?
Yeah. Actually, Call of Duty Snap. I think every loading screen now says Black Lives Matter.
That's
yeah.
Does that
That's
only
so
not
good.
fuel the fucking hatred that exists?
And like along with that, they can't like I forgot if it was like Activision or Infinity Ward or whatever like company puts the games out. They're saying that they're like doubling down or like tripling down on the amount of people that are like trying to like ban people who use like racist names or are reported for like being racist. So they actually are like doing something. I think it's more of a problem than like. It's like a very popular problem. Everyone who plays Call of Duty is racist. Like, it's really bad.
Well, that's the thing that blew my mind, that put it in new perspective for me, because it was something that I truly did ignore before. I played a Counter-Strike game recently. This had been the first one since, there had been a fucking race war, and it was worse because it was then just like people like conspiracy theory. It was even more toxic because it was like now earnest. It used to be like, and that the problem is, I think that when like gamers use it, like we kind of said, they're not attaching it to anybody. Well, maybe if your name is Saeed, obviously that was clear. But for the most part, I think it's being thrown around like just willy nilly, not like in a way that the person thinks that they're racist specifically, but that's the individual experience. The fact that they don't get is that now an entire fucking forum that people use to communicate is now part of systemic racism because everybody talks that way. And it's not seen as a big deal. And I never even thought about it. And then I was there and I was like, read the fucking room, guys, so it was that. And then again, it was just even like more ridiculous rhetoric. I was like, I purposely don't watch Fox News. I don't fucking tap into CSGO to also get the same talking points. It just becomes not worth it anymore.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Like it's read the room and like, but they're in a different room than we are.
Sure, exactly. 100%.
Like they might not think that it's an issue. They might never think it's an issue.
But here's the thing. We all actually live in the same room, but they're not acknowledging that fact, dog. That's the fucking problem.
What if, so what's the solution here? So it sounds like there's something around like reporting. What if you had to game under your like telephone number or some shit? Or like your home address or something?
Social security.
Where the fuck do you live?
Wow.
Say, do you want to be a brave?
Nobody would talk shit if you had to put your address. There would be nobody talking shit.
Saeed, as the resident gamer, and
real
Chuck, maybe
autocratic hours. Let's go, dude. Let's get the fucking technocratic state on
Chuck,
our fucking phone numbers.
As the resident gamer of the Core 4, do you want to be a brave pioneer and put your phone number or address out there so that people know where to find you if you pop off inappropriately in the gaming? He did it. Sean, don't bleep that.
Oh, yikes. No, please do. Can't afford to lose this one.
So you talk about, just kind of obviously everything happening in the world right now. You're young, you're 25, but you've been in streetwear for a minute. I want to ask, have the recent protests and calls for change, have they kind of opened your eyes more to like the white privilege that's just so prevalent in the very white world of streetwear?
I mean, like through all this, my eyes has just been, I guess, like during this specifically, my eyes got like reopened because I just got like so desensitized from it, just from over the years, just like, I don't know, just like naturally, I just can't picture being like, I'm just black every day. So I just like, this is what I experience every day. So I like get desensitized from it and but it gets forced back into reality, like in your face again when shit like this happens. And like, you just reprocess that. And like, he's like, holy shit, like this shit is so fucked up. And like, this shit is so deep rooted. Like, it's like, yes, it's the cops, but yes, it's like also the system at large. It's just like, it's generally pinned against black people. So it's just like generally fucked. And like that this comes back and like resurfaces in my mind every time shit like this happens. And it's just kind of crazy to have like, I don't know, I was just having conversations during this whole thing, like with the homies and just like people who have businesses, and just like some of them were white, and just like having conversations with them was always just led to like, they would just say shit like, oh, I can't just wait for business to be back up and running. And I'm just like, at that point, I was like, what the fuck are we talking about here? Like, we're talking about like people are literally dying from this fucking system, and like you just want your business to be back together. I'm just like, dude, you're part of the problem. Like, you need to like just check yourself, because there's a bigger problem at large than your fucking business right now. And it was like stuff like that was just like really infuriating. And just like, I don't know, just people just like not fully accepting what was happening. And it was like, I don't know, taking like another friend of mine was just like explaining like how he was sick and tired of just like being bombarded with everything on social media, and like wanted it to like he just wanted to escape. And he was also white. And I was just like, dude, like we face this like almost every day. Like, at least you can just spend like a week dealing with this the same way we've been doing things all our lives. Like, you can like just fucking, I don't know, like just step back and just like see what's happening, fucking read the room and just like accept and like learn more about what's happening, fucking attend a protest, like just be more involved, and like and just be more, just like try to understand a bit more like where this, like why this is happening, and like instead of just trying to escape it all the time. It's kind of mind blowing.
Speaking of like someone being too obtuse, either deliberately or they're not even realizing they're doing it and completely missing the point, have fans of your brand, since like the activism has come like to the forefront on an account that they might have followed before just because they liked cool t-shirts and cool tote bags, like has anyone reached out to you and questioned what you were doing, and like what, have there been any interactions like that, or have they been overwhelmingly positive and maybe even like furthering the reach that All Caps has because of the movement it's so rightfully aligned with?
Yeah. I haven't experienced one negative thing yet. Not one negative thing for the brand yet.
Good for you.
If anything, it's been nothing but growth during this time. Nothing but growth for this.
Not that, again, that's not what it's about. I just, and again, like, I don't want people to think that that's something that even throwing fits is like thinking of. I think at least from, it seems like everyone on this call right now, it's about doing the right thing for the right reasons. But with that said, I'm always very curious, it being at 2020, where people that follow you on the internet love to talk to you like you work for them. I always wonder, what it's like as a small business owner, black small business owner such as yourself. But that's great that it's been totally positive. Yeah, I think that kind of proves that your brand, above anything else, was aligned with the right people. Maybe they weren't even, they couldn't afford stuff, but they were aligned with you for the right reasons. And that's when, like we say on this show, right? We don't have fucking followers or fans. We have family, baby.
Fact. Yeah, it's been all positive. I'm psyched. Not one bad thing. Not one bad thing.
I mean, I do think the whole streetwear industry, which is propped up on this capitalist framework of like buying things, selling things, like is grappling with and stumbling through a lot of mistakes, like of kind of, what the new normal is. Brands survive and thrive by selling things, and this whole notion of like hype and creating desire out of thin air. But also just like, I don't know, have you ruminated at all on kind of like what All Caps, how you're going to do things differently? I mean, luckily you are so young and still small to the point where you can kind of change pretty nimbly, I would assume. But like, have you thought at all about like post-COVID? And I'm not saying post George Floyd, because there is no post George Floyd. Like everything is post George Floyd now. Just how you kind of operate in the space that will be completely different, from here on moving forward.
Yeah. I've been recently starting to think about it more. I don't know exactly what that's looking like in detail, but for sure, larger collections, more cut and sew stuff, and just like, I don't know, like more. I want to just engage with the community a bit more, like do more events, like have more of a physical presence, because as of right now, we just exist solely online. So I think it would be interesting to do like more like physical interaction stuff, just like more pop-ups, and like maybe not even pop-ups, find a way to engage with people without selling things. And I think that's a big thing for me. It's just like engaging with people at just like a scale. Like that's just like what I live for. Like I just live for the community and like meeting people and like experiencing moments together. So like I want to use that as a driving force just to like connect people. And I think that's just like what the mission is going to be from here on out. It's just like finding different ways to like connect with people.
I mean, I think that, listen, when you said it, I believed you, right? And I think that is the thing that's blowing my mind. Like, no offense, couldn't be me, dude. But I think that the fact that I think that's kind of like what this is making very clear to me, someone who doesn't really know you at all, but is quickly becoming like a bigger fan than I already was. Like, it clearly is true. And I think that, like, you know, the thing that James and I think have been hypercritical about as far as like the space that brands kind of, you know, take up when we're in a time of tragedy or mourning as a nation, or maybe even on another level, like shifting a paradigm. It's like, what can you ever hope that brands would do? Like, why would you ever think that they would step up and do anything to help anyone? Right. And like, if you could get over that and stop expecting that and think about what you can do and what your community can do on that level. James, what do you say about thinking local, or what is it?
Think global, act local.
There you go. Fucking Up in the Air, starring George Clooney and whatever.
All gave some gave all.
Yeah. I think that's the mindset. And I'm just, hearing you say it, it's crazy, bro.
I think it's also,
that's what it is. That's all it is.
I think it's also you're set up really nicely, Saeed, because like you are the face and the individual of the brand. And I think that not just in streetwear, but especially like in media, it's not about like the titles. It's about like the personalities that people connect with on an individual level, like you yourself was saying. And I think that like the brands that have been doing it right so far in these times, like massive upheaval, are the ones where they're not afraid to like put a human face in lieu of like the, anonymity. Because I think like anonymity is dangerous. And it goes to the whole gaming thing. Like when you have this veil of secrecy or anonymity,
right,
there's no accountability because it's just like this amorphous brand, right? Yeah. And people, I think, are brands were a substitute for people, but I think people are realizing that there is no substitution for people, and that it is about like the individuals that are taking actual action while also, propping up this like fake thing that we call brands. So I don't know. So I think that to your point of like actually talking to people in physical spaces and meeting with them and interacting with them is like probably the move that more brands should follow suit on. Just like humanize yourself.
Yeah.
Right. No, yeah, I agree.
And I know that, and we've learned this, but Cam and Antonio stressed that you are like the most infectiously optimistic guy they know. I think I called you the Oppenheimer of optimism. You can keep that one.
My man's smile is so infectious, it's going nuclear, man.
How have you stayed so positive and optimistic in these like insane, literally unprecedented times? What's the secret?
I don't know.
Besides gaming, don't say gaming.
Like, bro, I literally don't have anything else. Like, I don't know. Like, I've been like literally my entire life is just like filled with like so many like dark moments, right? And like the only way through those is to just be like, the only thing I have is to be positive about it, because if not, life's shit. So I'm just like, I'm not going to live a shitty life. I'm just trying to make the best of it. And like all I have is this energy, and I just try to push it out and share it as much as I can, and just like live the best life I possibly can. Like, and that's just it. And that's just like a mantra. I just keep the vibes coming.
In a nutshell, so this is just like the power of positive thinking. Do you like manifest stuff also? Like, are you one of those guys? Or like, how infectious is the smile? That's what I want to. Yeah, like philosophically speaking, if you had to like put it in a nutshell, is it just positive thinking, or?
I do believe in like what you put out, like energy wise, you do return back in some way. I don't truly manifest much. Like, I don't like manifest like, oh, I'm gonna manifest all caps to be the best brand ever. Like, I don't put that out there.
To sell 200 t-shirts.
Yeah, I've never done that. I've never done that to anything. But like, I don't know. I just like just lead with good intentions, and just like, I don't know. Like, I just want the best for all. So like, that's just how I think naturally, and it finds its ways to return somehow. Kind of insane.
Saeed,
some gave all caps gave some.
all caps gave all.
Some caps gave all.
I think I might know the answer to this question already, just in speaking and what you were talking about, like staying invested in the community. But like, Do you think that? Well, first of all, do you think you're going to remain in Philly, like, and all caps are going to remain in Philly for its entirety?
Ooh.
I've been. That's been a conversation actually recently. And I think we're going to be here for a bit. And I just like being close to my people. I think it's something I've been thinking about that more. Like being close to my people really impacts me a lot. So I think it's important for me to be in a space where I can do that. But like, I don't know, I've literally been here my own entire life and I've always considered moving somewhere else. And recently that's been LA. So that's been like a conversation that we've been having.
Come on.
I know. I have my good friend Sean Murray recently moved out there, and I don't know. He's just been convincing me highly to move out there.
The only bigger shithole than LA is Philly. I mean, I don't know.
Just like I've been tapping into like this nature vibe where I just like I don't know. I feel like I just been like wanting to be in nature more, and I feel like LA is like the perfect medium to like being really close to nature and really close to city, and again.
Yeah, you can put a fucking succulent in your car.
That too. And I don't know. I visit LA a lot, and I like being there when I visit. I'm sure it's different when
What's your LA vibe? Is it that Ojai? Is it Ojai? Is it Joshua Tree? What LA vibe?
Those are two places that are not inside of Los Angeles.
No, Cali. Sorry, his California vibe. Sorry, fuck. You know what I mean?
Definitely big Joshua Tree vibes. Try to hit that once a trip.
You trying to lick some toads?
No toads over here. No toads. Is that a thing?
Yeah, bro.
Bro.
Free your
mind. And then it's just astral blast off.
Jesus
the cosmic vibes just align.
Psychedelic toads.
Do you think that I am hard pressed to kind of name what the most like successful Philly streetwear or just brand is in general? It seems like, and we'll talk about the scene in general. Do you think that if all caps is kind of have a transcendent moment break out, does it have to leave Philadelphia? Just strictly speaking, business wise, do you have to be in New York? Do you have to be in LA? Or if the choice was yours and you had your druthers and your fucking homie moved back to Philly because you miss him so much, and you kept all caps in Philly, do you think you could still unlock as much potential as you would hope?
Classic big fish, small pond scenario.
Yeah, I think more than ever now.
It's the Fresh Prince story.
Yeah. It's I think I don't know more than ever. Are you able to like?
That's a fish out of water, by the way. So you're wrong. It's different.
No, but in North Philadelphia, born and raised, and then he moves to Beverly Hills, like LA.
Yeah, I know. Just fundamentally speaking, again, we're storytellers. I just want to make sure that this podcast is 100% factual. We're warriors of truth.
We need to fact check this pod afterwards, like Melvin from the New Yorker.
I can't wait to talk about that. We'll have to loop Saeed on that later.
Yeah. Do you think you could, if you did remain in Philly, do you think it could achieve as much widespread success business wise only as if you moved to LA or New York?
They got IG everywhere, dog. Don't forget that, though.
That's what I'm saying. I think time, like now more than ever, is then you can scale your business via the internet.
Scam? What was that? Was it
scale?
Wait, what is the term economy of scams, James? I believe?
You can scale scam, but you can't scale.
Woo! Bars.
But I do think big bars. I think there needs to be some sort of growth beyond Philly. Like I think there needs to be a presence some way, somehow, whether that's being in certain stores or something. But I think we can have the headquarters in Philly and still scale it pretty nicely. But it's just figuring out how that looks like and like how that. Yeah, it's just figuring out that method. But I think
we're playing it by ear. You're just gonna play it by ear.
Yeah. I think we do it, Philly, for sure.
What besides like your family and your people being from Philly, like what's your favorite thing about Philly? Because I always like to say that it's like it's 2/3 New York for 3/4 the price. Like it's not a great deal.
Yeah. Like the rent situations, whatever. I just like how real the people here are. Like everyone's just like you can almost like I can connect with people very easily, and like I don't know, I feel like I can just like it. People are just like very upfront. And
what about the dumbass accents?
Jesus Christ! I fuck with it. I don't know. I think it's special. I love it. I kind of got I lost mine I think a bit, but
I have a question for you that we kind of get hit with all the time, and I'm glad that we finally have an authority in the house. This one hits home for me and Lawrence. It's taking a lot of bravery for us to ask this question. We had to dig deep. We had to dig deep to ask this one, but we're not afraid of big questions here. All right, first and foremost. So we toe the line. We got to cross it now and then.
We really got to put all our cards out on the table on this.
Oh my god!
This has been a long time coming.
So Saeed, Lawrence, myself, Chuck, even Chef, even though he had to bounce, we want to ask you, how do you feel about the John's universe co-opting the term John from Philly?
It's weird. I don't know about when I first saw it. I didn't know if it was like specifically
Saeed V.TF. It's a court case. The case.
When I first started seeing it, I was just like, I didn't know. Like, I didn't originally like. I started seeing it via meme, and I was just like, do these people know where this word's coming from? Like, at the context of where I was seeing it, I was like, of
course we know. We're anthropologists.
I was like, this word's being ruined. I'm like, these guys are like, not you
this
guys.
Word that means
like the word in this context was
this word that means both nothing and everything. You guys are ruining it.
You're ruining it. Yeah. Or like it was just like
typical fucking Philly.
But it was just so weird because like the context that it's used as John's is different than like how it's used in like casual conversation.
You've seen the picture of the kid, the white like kid who's 3 years old, well, 5 years old, 7 years old, dressed up like Allen Iverson with his facial hair drawn on and cornrows. You know what I'm talking about? It's a kid. He's in full Allen Iverson blackface, minus the blackface, and he's cheering in the fans. Everybody who complains about throwing fits using the word John is that fucking kid, okay? That's what I'm trying to say. Shut the fuck up. We stole it from somebody else who stole it from the Philly people, by the way. Don't look at us. Talk to fucking Super Future, dog.
Yeah. Also, that's how language...
From the cool Asian kids, bro. That's how that works.
And that's how language works. Like, don't be against fucking linguistic studies and shit. Like,
look at Chuck's background. That kid. Yo, this is what Adam Rappaport got fired for doing at Bon Appetit. This kid is doing in the stands of a professional basketball game. He has a finger sleeve. He has a finger sleeve, ladies and gentlemen.
And the tattoos. He has the tattoos.
Put him on the mixtape cover. This
7-year-old has tattoos.
I will say, I was debating whether this week we're going to return to the very fun and wonderful mixtape covers that Chuck makes for our guests, or if we were going to keep it extremely tasteful because of the race war with just kind of like the portraits, right? You don't know what's going to be appropriate. But just because this motherfucking kid got brought up, we're going back to mixtape.
I'm with it. I love that.
It's the new normal. It's the new normal. We're not fire. We're defining it as it goes. Let's talk about the whole streetwear John in Philly in general. And by John, I mean scene. See, it's not that easy. It's easier just to keep it to garments. Do you think the streetwear scene in Philly is underrated?
Ooh.
Yes. Big time. Who's
doing time. So what's I don't want to do a Mount Rushmore because I would.
We got to do a part two.
Oh,
we got to do a part two.
Yeah, I guess we should. Well, I want to give all these brands that I'm sure that Saeed is about to fucking shout out are probably like independently owned. They might be fucking owned by fucking black people, other people of color. Maybe give us a handful right now in front of the paywall that people should look out for and support.
Yeah, of course. So I mean, the community at large is just like very special, and like there's first a lot of cool stores doing shit like. P's and Q's a part of that. Ubik's a part of that. Laps on the Hammer is a part of that. And there's like the associations, like there's like the consignment shops like Suplex and Common Ground are a part of that. And like this is like a culture at large. And like once you're in that community and space, like it's like a family. Like everyone's accepting. You get to know everyone, and it's like you go to these events, and it's like a good vibe. And it's like honestly, that shit is amazing, and I wish I can experience those times a lot more. I don't know. It just feels like I think at a community standpoint, it's very special. It's very special. Like it's not like.
I mean, I was going to say. I mean, in your time in LA and New York, like how is Philly different? Like obviously, I think that it sounds like the community in Philly is very inward facing. Like they take care of their own. And they're not necessarily trying, but also I feel like there's
a bit of a city of brotherly love, dog.
But I do feel like there's a bit of a chip on your shoulder, John, as well. I don't know if you guys like, is that true or is that just me projecting because I'm a fucking snobby, New Yorker?
A chip off the old John that a John.
Like a chip on Philly, like people from Philly's shoulder.
Yeah, like you're overshadowed by, this
New Jersey.
Morally, just culturally superior New York and LA.
I don't know. Like I never really saw it that way. My viewpoint of like when I compare Philly and like the LA events and stuff like that, it's just like, I don't know. LA just feels like a bit more cool guy-y. Like it just feels like everyone.
LA is trash. At least Philly is fucking real and true to itself. LA is fake as fuck, dude. Listen, I would like to revise my rankings. Philly is now the second worst city. The worst is LA.
Well, you know why that is because everyone wants to move to LA for the fucking vibes and the weather and the Xanax that's in the air. The thing is, no one wants to move to Philly. And so Philly, if you're in Philly, you're from Philly.
Yeah. Ain't nobody there on their own volition. Let's be clear.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. A lot of people moving in
Philly was forged from the same fucking fires of shit.
The same flame.
Philadelphia is just East Bushwick. That's what it is.
Jesus
Christ! I don't know what East Bushwick looks like, but I'm not sure.
It looks about as white as Philly these days, my G.
I'm just saying, it's Philly is like the people that moved to Philly, like they couldn't crack in Bushwick. They, they're Philly's the Bushwick of Bushwick.
Urban Outfitters is in Philly, right? That's the big fucking.
Yeah. They're in the fucking.
You hate to fucking see it, dude.
Enough of this Philadelphia pile on.
Yeah, this is bad. Yo, sorry.
This is hell.
Yeah, this is.
Dude, you guys are giving my city hell.
You saw protesters rocking the tote bags. Have you seen any celebrities wearing your Johns? And if you had your choice, who would be the dream celebrity to be spotted rocking some all caps?
Ooh.
Besides
Obama.
Besides Ben Franklin.
I would love to get Ben Franklin.
Is Black Ben Franklin. That's who we're talking about.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's his nickname.
Put him on the bill. Haven't had a celebrity wear it yet, I don't think. And if I had to put it on a celebrity, it would definitely be Lil Uzi.
Yeah.
Easy.
Ooh, the goat.
Easy.
What's your favorite Uzi project, and what are your 3 favorite Uzi jams?
Favorite Uzi project is probably Eternal Take. Definitely the deluxe. Like the whole thing is just a play. I mean, honestly, Love Is Rage is amazing too.
Yeah.
I'm a big I don't know. I'm biased. I fucking love.
Have you ever met him or like run into him in Philadelphia?
Actually, he came to the shop once, and it was like he was like barely there. He stepped in and stepped out really quickly. He was just like on South Street. He visits like a store on South Street where P's and Q's also was called Suplex a lot. So he was just like in passing. And I went to a lot of middle schools growing up. And I went to like 3 to 4 different middle schools. So like when I went to 7th to 8th, I went back to my home neighborhood, Feltonville. I went to the Feltonville Middle School, and in that school was Tierra Whack and Lil Uzi. I went to school, same grade, everything. So I had I moved from 7th to 8th grade. So like I didn't know anybody there, and I was just like a very shy kid. I was just like had like 2 friends at that time. So it was like a very weird, awkward, just like 8th grade experience. But like that's my graduating class.
Is that the photo of like really young Uzi and he's wearing Bapestas? Was that from that school?
I don't think so. I think that was I think that was before that.
Do you have an Uzi story or a Tierra Whack story?
I remember being very intimidated by Tierra Whack because she just was very opinionated and loud and just like had a big character. And like I was just like the shy kid, so I was just like always.
She was like popular. She was like conventionally popular.
Yeah. She ran that school essentially, and I was just always intimidated. I was like always afraid she was going to pick on me or something.
Damn.
So she was like very like she had a very strong character since.
Was Uzi a nerd? Like into anime and shit like that?
I don't think so. He was just
Beyblades.
He might have been. I didn't really know him at the time, but he was around a lot, and he was just always around with the cool kids. So
was he rapping? Was he spitting back then?
No, I think no. I think that was like in high school. I think he went like that started after that.
How many facial tattoos did he have in 8th grade? And how many facial piercings did he have? All right, so Uzi's your dream celeb to wear your shit. Who besides like the obvious, like, you know, fuck Barron Trump, fuck like, you know, fuck James Woods, fuck any right wing celeb, fuck any celebrity in that I take responsibility video. But who is a celebrity that you would hate to see wearing all caps?
Besides Obama.
That maybe people are conventionally like, yo, if my shit was on, let's just say, you know, obviously not him, but like if I saw like AI wearing my shit, I'd fucking, you know, bust a nut. But who's a celebrity that people might want to see their shit on typically that you're just like, that's not right for me. G-Eazy?
Easy.
Macklemore?
So anyway, we're just naming white rappers.
Yeah.
Now?
Machine
what
Gun Kelly.
about the dude behind Chuck, the White Iverson kid?
Post Malone, White Iverson?
This is White Iverson. Yeah, that's the whole. Yo, but to be
That's
fair,
a hard one. I don't know if I have one.
Yo, in his defense, he started balling when he was young.
That's true. That's true.
He did do that. He did that.
All right. Saeed, I want to ask you this because, you know, you're starting out, and we talked about this a little bit. You know, you don't necessarily, you've been in the game for a minute, but you're only now with the brand shit starting to move. But I guess like in your observations and in your interactions with a whole bunch of people across different facets of the streetwear industry, how can like the larger industry at whole help elevate and enable young designers, especially like young Black designers? Because I think that's a question we're going to have to everyone here face soon, right? Like we can throw money around and that's great, but like how can we empower aspiring young Black designers to you know, find success in this multi-billion-dollar industry?
I mean, as I don't know. I think some of the beginning ways could be to hire, like these companies to hire Black designers first, like just to give these people opportunity. I think from opportunity, people get courage, and from courage, that stems to other things that you can like lead, you can teach from that. And then I think other ways could just be like empowering Black voices, maybe just like for outsourcing work, like if you need photos being taken, maybe hire a Black photographer, for I don't know, all these jobs that could be available, maybe consider just hiring Black talent. And it's like also, I don't know, I think it could be a really interesting way of putting all events in like a way that is like leading Black empowerment, or just like not even empowerment, Black encouragement, where just like teaching people about Black history and Black activism, maybe through the lens of streetwear. I feel like that could be a really cool opportunity. Like maybe through a talk, or maybe just through garments itself. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one. It's a big question.
I think it's definitely something that, you know, I think look, selling t-shirts, donating proceeds and stuff is great. And all these brands are doing it. But in terms of like long-term, a true shift, it's about folding Black people into the mix in a way that is long-term and organic, and not like just, you know, whether it's tokenism or just like meeting diversity quotas. It's more than that.
I think Chef said it the best. This was behind the paywall, unfortunately, but the message is maybe one of my favorite that I've heard. And I don't think this is even necessarily an original thought. This is the way that people can think. It's about trying to do two things. It is to educate and amplify, right? Especially if you have a platform. And that platform could be t-shirts. That platform could be a podcast. That platform could be like your Instagram account with, you know, 400 followers in your hometown and your family. Like, you know, that's, you know, but those are the, not that we want to be reductive, but those are two things that I know, like that we're trying to focus on. That I think everyone could do. Easy. We're not easy.
Right. Yeah.
It's an easy way to think about starting, I should say.
Right. Yeah. Big time. And just having conversations in general. I don't know. I think it just starts from that. It just starts from just having conversations and being real with one another. I don't know.
I'm curious, you know, obviously it's early days for all caps, but like you mentioned that in your hometown of fentanyl,
Jesus Christ,
which is super deadly, and
very deadly.
Yeah, it's hard to get out of there alive. That could you see yourself kind of like tapping into that neighborhood and being like a figurehead of someone that's like, yo, like, look, I launched a brand and it's doing this and it's partnering with this and it's in these stores. Like, kind of, do you? I know it's early days, but like, could you see yourself being a role model for the next like young black creative that's coming out of Fentonville, I believe is the
mentor
your town.
Feltonville is Felton. Yeah. I would love to just encourage people and just like in Philadelphia in general, in those neighborhoods, because there's not much of that, especially in the education system. Like the education system here is generally just complete trash.
Property taxes.
It's insane. So I would love to do that in some way or another, like at some point for sure. And just to be more tapped in with the youth for sure, just to share knowledge and just like share knowledge that I didn't have growing up, share experiences that I didn't know, or didn't have a chance for someone else to like explain to me. Like I want to definitely show youth and like people, like give them some sort of, or just show them another way of like how life could be. Because you can't really get that from that neighborhood. Like the view is very limited in that neighborhood. I would just like at least a chance to inspire or like encourage as many kids as I possibly can, even if that's one.
Right. That's admirable, man. For sure.
Well, speaking of non-role model behavior and non-peaceful protests, when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, where were you?
Yeah.
Where were you that night?
I was in this room. So I had a Super Bowl party in this room. And I'm not even a big sports fan.
Eagles fly.
Insane experience.
Go Birds!
Even that was hype that whole time. I don't even fuck with sports, but I was going crazy. I had a Super Bowl party here. Had a few homies. I think Cameron was here actually. And yeah, that shit was insane. It was insane. Fucking, we left. I don't live too far from Broad Street. Broad Street was on fire by the time we got to it. It was fucking madness. Like people were climbing.
It only makes sense because Philly is literally the gates to hell. So there you go.
Jesus Christ. It was insane. It was like honestly the wildest time I've ever seen Philly. I've never seen it. Like people were just fucking doing legit anything. People were just climbing buildings.
Have you had the opportunity to use this very easy example to dunk on a racist yet, as far as like criticize rioting or looting, and you literally just point to, hey, remember when you tore down a statue and ate a piece of horse shit off of the street? That's because of the thing.
Yeah. Nah, yeah, it's the same viewpoint. I didn't use that yet. Definitely.
Keep it locked.
It's in the arsenal.
Yeah. Always ready. Never lacking.
I mean, statute of limitations is up. Did you commit any property violence?
Ooh, yeah, dude. Any property violence?
Nah, that one.
Did you hurt a building? If you hurt a building, you legally have to tell us on this podcast. We love brands. We protect them.
I forgot. That was the Philadelphia Inquirer. Buildings matter too.
Yes. Yeah. Bro. Hottest. Speaking of Gates of Hell and Broad Street on fire, hottest take of all time.
Yeah, for real.
That's the
buildings. Lives matter.
We need our buildings.
Yo. Honestly, Philly snapped when they thought that the city of brotherly love also took into account all the structures.
Yeah.
I think that's it's brave and admirable. And honestly, man, thank you to white people.
Maybe it's like maybe the editor in chief was feeling like some Japanese Shintoism, where like inanimate objects actually have a spirit within them. Maybe that's, I don't know.
That's how we feel about Johns. That's the religion.
Yeah.
If anyone comes to my Johns, you got nothing coming. Obviously, right? We are doing this on Zoom. Well, you live in Philly, but also like we're still. I think what people are kind of forgetting is that there's still a fucking global pandemic raging.
Stay safe.
The infection rates in the U.S. are not going down; they're holding steady.
No,
we're pretty much fucked. I just want to ask you, Saeed, like, we're still in quarantine here in New York. I know it didn't hit Philly as bad necessarily, but like, what do you miss the most about pre-quarantine life? We're 3 months in. Like, what is really just fucking with your head? Like, what do you need to do?
I think just like, I don't know, like I was just like the fact that I just can't hang out. Like I feel like that like hanging out with friends and just like going to like, I don't know, just being in the same space was just like a good thing for me. And like I just like, I don't know, I had like this habit of like really working intensely, and then like, after that I want to socialize and be around my friends, and like I couldn't do that. Like I would just have to be stuck in this room, and I'm just like fucking staring at the wall and just getting blazed out of my mind. I'm just losing it, and I just like that human connection I miss a lot, and just like every every opportunity I got during quarantine to get like a little bit of it, I would do, just because I miss that so much. And just like little things, just like I don't know. I don't drive, so I used to Uber everywhere. So, but like during quarantine and like all that, like if I had to go to the bank, I had to fucking walk there. And I'm just like, I can't take an Uber. Like this shit sucks. And like all the banks were just like, there's like different chapters of them, and they were all shutting down because of COVID. And there would be like one in the middle of nowhere, and it'd just be like a fucking hassle. And just like doing normal shit, and just like going to restaurants. I don't really cook that much, and like a lot of the stuff I was eating was like going to restaurants and shit. And that immediately just like affected me. I had to start cooking. That was a learning
What was
curve.
your quarantine specialty?
Bro, I got anything with ground beef. I was doing tacos and spaghetti big time.
Hell yeah.
That was big routine. Like, yeah, I was on the menu all night.
Well, you can't drive. How the fuck are you going to survive in LA?
Yeah.
Dude, that's the thing. I've been trying to work on that. I've been trying to work. The quarantine has been.
You can Uber everywhere in LA. It's fucking $5 to Uber anywhere in LA, but you got to talk to the drivers, and that is big fucking ass.
The worst.
Yeah.
It's almost like, hey, guy, get a fucking podcast, my G.
Yeah. I always just pretend I'm on a call. I'm always like, I'm on a call.
A call with who, bitch?
Yeah, and then I'll just be listening to music.
Like Cameron?
No, I'll be listening to music, and then every so often I'll just be like, oh yeah, no, that sounds good.
I'm on a call with T.I. right now.
What's the first thing you're doing when this shit lifts and we can go outside and fucking
First day out.
I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
What's your first day out when Quar is out and you're out and about?
Maybe I really like
besides
every
smooching the
time.
homies.
Besides spending your time inside gaming all day.
Usually, like once like the weather breaks here and becomes nice, I usually like to hit like one of the parks. Usually, it's like a rent house park and just chill out there with the homies and just like
You skate?
I don't know. I don't really skate too much. I like Pride, but like never.
You can't ollie? You can't
ollie. Nah.
Ollie with no pop.
Get out of here.
That's from TikTok. What about, so, you talked about how you're just kind of like staring at the walls and smoking a lot of weed. A lot of people would call that self-improvement. I think Chuck was like nodding in solidarity, and I believe I got a little quiet. Hell yes. When he said that.
Have you guys heard that?
Yeah. Have you self-improved at all during quarantine, Saeed?
Yo, I started running. I'm putting up miles now. Not miles, but I'm running. I've been running consistently. Yeah, once I was going to run today, but I was nervous about this, so I didn't run.
That's a reason you should have ran. You would be more loose and limber.
But I feel like I would have lost it more. Like I was like,
you want to be locked in. You want to be.
I want to be. Yeah.
My man doesn't. He's like, I'm not exercising. I'm not busting a nut before the podcast. I want to be fucking locked in.
You're like Raging Bull.
He's like the kid in the meme with the veins busting out of his head.
I don't know if that image came through the microphone, but
fully torqued.
What do you listen to when you run? Uzi makes great running music.
Bro, I
ain't got no Snapchat, homie.
At the beginning of quarantine, I lost the case to my AirPods, and I just don't have headphones. The only time
I'm sorry for your loss, bro. I'm sorry for your loss.
Dude,
I've never heard of someone losing the case.
Bro, I don't know where the fuck I put it. I don't know where it's at. I have no idea. But I don't have headphones to listen to music, so I've been running. I just been listening to the streets.
What? You've been raw dog running? That's horrible.
But you've been raw dogging reality?
Yeah. Dude, it's actually, I thought it was going to be terrible too. I was fucking scared to do it, but it's so fire. It's so fire. Because it's like meditative at that point.
Yeah, but all you hear is just a heavy labored breathing.
Wait, how often do you have to stop and see a plastic bag floating through the breeze and comment how beautiful it is?
Well, like the experience itself and like internally is beautiful. Like I always had a problem. Like I was trying to get into running for a while, but like my breathing.
Did Rocky run with headphones or no? Did he raw dog reality? There's your answer.
He was raw dogging.
There you go.
Michael B. Jordan ran to Meek Mill and all the dudes popping wheelies on their
good soundtrack.
Yo,
good
honestly,
soundtrack.
I feel like we kind of sold ourselves down the river a bit with the outro music. I feel like there's so many good Philly options that after shitting on Philly, we're not even halfway through. We've been shitting on Philly for like 2 hours plus. You love to fucking see it, but at the same time,
I hate to see it.
maybe like dreams and nightmares.
That's what I'm saying. But to be clear, I just want
I'm
to say
a
that
boss.
we weren't.
Rick.
We didn't come into this pod meaning to shit on Philly. But I think that once,
Oh, come on, dog.
But once a New Yorker starts shitting on any other city, you have to join them in the pylon, and that's just what happened.
Yeah. Sorry, dude. Yo, Philly is just a statistic now, bro. It happens.
Jesus Christ. Saeed, what's some so running, that's great. Smoking weed, that's great.
Yeah.
Cooking ground beef, very cool.
Ground beef, God.
I believe MF Doom said, food.
Yeah, yes, thank you.
What's some trash behavior that you've been exhibiting while in quar?
Big candy energy.
Really?
Big candy energy.
You're the head honcho of Haribo.
Yeah, what's the Mount
Bro,
Rushmore? Hit us with the Mount Rushmore. Or is this, we're going to do this later? Fuck.
Fuck it.
I'm bad. I've been like a couple packs a day.
What? Damn! You're a 2-pack a day habit?
Dude, it's bad.
You're like Don Draper of gummy worms.
Dude,
That's a 2-pack of type 2 diabetes, bro.
Yeah, you got you guys don't get that post dinner candy thirst. Like you guys don't get that.
The post dinner candy thirst? No, that's not real. That's not a real thing. Only you.
No, it's real. It's absolutely real.
Thirst like a bloodthirst, but it's Haribo.
I'll do like a piece of chocolate or like
a freezer Reese's after dinner.
Oh, so fire! So fire!
A freezy Reese's does sound nice.
Wow, a Reese's Freezy with the greasies.
But it's also really nice to have gummies while I'm gaming too. So after dinner is usually game time. So I'm I need a pack for me.
Do you eat a lot of pizza bagels as well?
Gummies are chewy too, so it gets your brain firing.
Right.
It's good for gaming.
Chuck, you're saying that you kickstart your brain with gummy worms to think?
Yeah. They're like it's like a performance enhancing drug for gaming. You gotta.
Oh god!
Time to boot up the old gaming machine. Let me take a
That's
bite
of the
gummy bears.
That's where the dubs come from.
I mean, Lawrence, I think we're forgetting that these guys are in their mid-20s and
okay.
Let's just.
You think I'm lying?
We'd be lying. We'd be lying if we didn't say that we're extremely fucking jealous that you guys can just eat whatever the fuck you want, stay up until 4 a.m. with zero consequences. Chuck.
Yeah. A motherfucker can give me the full spring lineup of gummy worms, but isn't registered to vote. I'm not interested in his opinion.
All right, let's move on to the next topic, which is, of course, money.
Ka-ching.
Saeed, you're a big listener to the pod, so you know that we keep it classy, we keep it elegant, we keep it fucking above board, baby.
Yeah, baby.
That being said, as a young black small business owner, how much money do you make?
Trying to do salary transparency, dude. Be a hero.
So how do people usually answer this very transparently?
No, but we're gonna shift the paradigm, dude. We're gonna be well, listen, I'm not gonna tell you what to do, especially if you're a broke ass motherfucker and you're about to embarrass yourself in front of 18 million people. Don't do that. But I think we've been asking this question as not kind of a joke, but James, I think that moving forward, this could be a really interesting way for people to. This is all people want to know. This is all people care about.
We can push for it. The thing is that it's different if you're the business owner. You're probably not paying yourself that much at all because a lot of it is probably going back into business. It's different if you work for a corporation and you have contemporaries and peers at other businesses. Maybe pay disparities fall along gender or race lines or whatever. But if you're a small business owner, it's just all about fucking margins, right?
So you're advising him as his lawyer, Dr. Taco Esquire III. You're saying that Saeed should plead the fifth on this question?
Absolutely not, Saeed. This is entirely your prerogative. You live in America. You're allowed to say whatever the fuck you want as long as it's not hate speech or fire in a theater.
Okay.
How much money do you make?
Okay, I'm gonna answer this. I'm gonna answer this in this way. So, like, up until this very point, I would take a small percentage of each drop for my own personal gain, and like that was after shipping things out, after production, after paying Andrew, after just like after everything. I would just like take it in, and that would just be my cash, and I would just like run that, and that always varied, but.
That's what we call profit.
Yeah.
yeah. But like up until like 2 weeks ago, we recently all caps got acquired by Triple R Brands,
Woo!
which is like the same umbrella as 18 East, and life's good.
Wow. Wait, so you're telling me you came up with this brand less than a year ago and you got acquired and you're sharing that with the world on our podcast right now?
Yeah. No one knows. This is literally the first announcement.
No, so what's okay, I don't know what. Listen, you probably should.
What were the terms?
Yeah, it's signed. By the way, this is all signed.
I'm not telling you guys the terms.
No, but it's signed. I don't want you to say anything the deal is signed, sealed, and delivered. Ink is dry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. I want to know: did you make the smart decision and have a lawyer / accountant look at the terms, or were you brave like me and Lawrence and just sign it fucking sight unseen?
I'm a maniac, and I just did it sight unseen.
You did?
No, Saeed.
But like I know, like I trust the people very much, and I also trust Antonio very much, and Antonio was like very much cited on that. I trust Antonio so much, and like the vibe of the conversation with everyone I had over there was really good.
Is it a licensing? What's the nature of it? Is it they took a controlling stake licensing? I don't know how much you want to share, but I'm trying to process.
It's more the idea was more about enabling and like just furthering the growth of all caps, because they have resources and like they know people who can like do cut and sew. They know people who can like further everything.
This is what we talked about with you being with being a freelance
incubated within Triple.
No, this is what we talked about with you being
do this. Yeah.
With you being a freelance photographer, if only you had someone to handle the dirty stuff so that you could focus on the creative. And now you are fully enabled to focus on what you do best, which is the fucking graphics god.
Yeah. Listen, this ground beef's not going to cook itself. You know what I'm fucking
saying? It's not.
Yeah, you need someone to secure the pan. You need someone to fucking turn the gas on.
To some degree, all caps is now being incubated in a way where your full artistic vision, the cut and sew, the full line, everything you want to do is going to be powered by a company that knows what the fuck they're doing. And if you're listening to this and this sounds weird to you, it's what's happening with 18 East. It's kind of like it's more of an incubator than I think a traditional takeover bullshit.
Right.
How much
for the wrong reasons?
I'm sure that Mr. R and his two brothers.
Antonio is still shipping out of his basement, by the way. And, let's all be very clear.
Saeed, I'm sure that Mr. R and the two brothers, the three R's, are listening. So maybe this is your chance to kind of let them know, like, how much money would you like to make? Like, what's an ideal paycheck that you cash in every 2 weeks?
An ideal?
Yeah, like how much you want to make a year?
I don't know. I'm not.
Is it a mill? Is it a bill? Is it a trill?
I'm not a greedy man. I just want to live comfortably. And it's like.
So in Philadelphia, that's like $40,000 a year.
Yeah, less.
maybe less.
Honestly, bro, take a salary for a Condé Nast editorial assistant and just have that sucker just right down the middle. That's all.
How much are season tickets for the Sixers?
Courtside?
Ooh, baby. I love a courtside scene.
What's face value?
I love a courtside situation.
$13.50? $13.50. Sorry, I should have been.
I gotta tell you,
so you seem like a simple man of simple taste, just ground beef on your spaghetti. What's like what's an ideal annual salary?
If
you had your druthers.
I don't know. I'm good with like upwards of 70 is nice.
Wow,
like
you are
upwards of 80.
You are a simple man.
I'm not asking for much here.
No, that's great.
I just want to live.
But
be able
I
to
feel like
do stuff.
$80,000 in Philly, you could live like a fucking lord. How many
Philly
cheesesteaks is that? How many Johns is that?
It's a lot of Johns.
My God, his Johns are over 9,000.
What do you typically besides like, I don't know, gaming upgrades or whatever, what do you buy in gaming? Like skins? You buy skins in gaming and shit?
Yeah, you buy lives in Candy Crush. Obviously, you're addicted to gaming.
Yeah. What do you like to spend your money on besides candy and gaming upgrades?
So you must love Candy Crush. It's your two loves combined.
Yo, I used to be, I fucking hate that game, to be honest. I don't know. I like to travel. I've been traveling a lot. I like to. I buy shit a lot.
What's on your travel bucket list? Where do you want to head next?
You guys are gonna hate me, but I'm going back to LA probably in a couple weeks.
Bro, you're not. You don't have any aspirations.
But like I do. But like I have very good friends in LA, and I miss them a lot. And I just want to.
You don't want to go to Japan. You don't want to go to Paris. You don't want to go to London.
Oh yeah. Big time. No, Paris is on the list. London's on the list.
But LA, but Los Angeles, the city of angels.
City of angels.
You want to talk culture? You want to talk fucking culture? Let's talk Los Feliz, Los Angeles.
Los Angeles, baby. The windy city, the city of lights. The city that never sleeps, and the city of fucking love. You know it. The best. Well, no, excuse me. The worst after Philly. Sorry, right.
Yeah, after Philly.
What are you spending more in quarantine or are you like saving up?
At the beginning of quarantine, I was letting it rip. I've been good recently.
Letting it rip on what? Go off. Let us know.
Was just what was I buying? I was buying. I don't know. I feel like there was just a lot of. I was supporting the homies at Mount Sunny a lot. I was supporting the homies at Extra Vitamins. I was supporting. What else was I buying? 18 East. I was buying 18 East a lot.
You have to buy 18 East?
I probably don't have to, but I do it because I support. Like I know what it's like to run a business and have people actually like ask for stuff.
Mount Sunny is like a wellness brand, right?
Yeah. They do wellness.
A dude's from Arizona, so shout out to
Oh wow,
Big AZ.
He's from that's Fentanyl, Arizona. It's actually kind of like
now you ruined it.
Kind of. It's like companion pieces. You know.
What do you cop from 18 East?
Yeah,
I copped. What did I cop? What did I cop?
Also, sorry, what did you purchase from 18 East?
Oh, damn. That's another thing we got to do. The reckoning is coming for that, bro. Yeah.
That's a big fact. I got, what do they call it? It's like this, I forgot the name of it. It has a name for it, but it's like a white button-up shirt that's made out of like the certain material that's like longer that you wear underneath
kurta,
stuff.
right?
Kurta. Yeah. I got that. I got like one of their
that's a big vibe,
hoodies.
dude. That's a big vibe.
Big vibe.
I
bought some brown trousers and what else did I buy? I think I tried to get the Goreckis. Goreckis went quick.
Dude, that's the crazy thing. So how does it feel when you're shit? So obviously the drop that we talked about before that went Oppenheimer, right? That you guys are raising fucking six figs. Honestly, it makes TF look bad. I'm not happy about it. I was actually gonna bring this up.
You're right. It is about us. It is about our performance versus
Yeah, exactly. I don't like being made look bad because that's how fucking nuclear you guys went. But anyway, normally when you do drop shit with Antonio like before and the shit sells out, how does that feel? What is that feeling like?
It's crazy. I don't know. I never have.
I guess your own shit sells out too. Sorry, I didn't mean to be presumptuous. What's that? What kind of high are you chasing with the sellout? How's that?
That good sense.
It's like
no, it's bad, but it's very bad. Actually, it's not good.
It's always a guessing game. Like I never am like, oh, this is going to sell out. Oh, this is going to be like anticipating a sellout. Like it's always just like we don't know. Like it's like, will this do well? Will this not? And it's like always just like. This is a guessing game, and it's always surprising to see what does sell out, what's like the sleeper or like whatever. Like it's always just really interesting to see it. So
what's been your biggest brick?
Ooh, besides being born in Philly.
Jesus Christ, Philly made me.
Again, my condolences.
Lawrence, have you ever been to Philadelphia? Have you ever been to Philadelphia, Lawrence?
Of course, bro. This is crazy. The night that changed my life, I was in Philadelphia.
What changed your life?
What happened?
I got offered a job at Brand Pimps and Media Games over fucking the job offer that put me, a young, white, at-risk youth, at risk because of how much privilege I was overloading on. That's what I mean. Sorry. It didn't come out right.
So the trauma of entering the fashion industry, you equate that with Philadelphia.
Has made me know, right? Exactly. Yes. Yeah. My first job where I was fairly compensated $38,000 a year to be a human slave in a corporate machine. No, that was a great first job. But no, I was in Philly. And listen, I'm from Jersey. The joke here is my complex. Jersey doesn't have a city as cool as Philly. That's just facts. But Jersey, doesn't want to also be viewed worse than Philly. So, it happens.
That's true.
So, life.
All right, let's move on to the third and final topic, which this truly is a working title. It is the segment formerly known as That Ass. But we are rebranding under the new moral framework of the times we live in. And, working title, Fappin' and Clappin'.
Well, in this case, it should be Fappin' and Cappin' in honor of All Caps Studio.
True. But there's no cap. There's no cap in all caps. Whether
there's no cap in his fap either. Let's be real about one thing. This man has no cap in his fap.
Let's find out if this man has claps in his caps. Have you been dating at all in quarantine?
No dating at all. I haven't been dating. Yeah, for
celibate.
Not intentionally, but just I don't know,
you're an incel. You're involuntarily celibate. You're an incel. It all makes sense.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah, I haven't been dating at all. I think I don't know. Life's already insane.
Did you try it all? Did you try it all while in quarter? Were you just like, this is stupid? Like, what am I going to do? Fucking FaceTime for an hour?
Get jiggy over the Zoom right now, dog.
I hopped on Tinder for a second, but the conversation immediately led to nowhere. So I was just this is a dub, and I just deleted it.
Do you use apps a lot normally? Did you use apps before Quar?
I don't think I tried them. They're just not my vibe. I just can't get across that way. I'm always just an in-person type vibe.
You just use IG. Don't lie to the people. You just use IG. That's what everyone does.
Low key, the big vibe is IG.
Is that the real reason why you want to move to LA? Because of as you call them, Johns, the real Johns are out there.
Oh shit, dude.
Low key, I honestly think I'm on the quest to find the one. And I don't think the one's in Philly. At least not from. I feel like I've obviously experienced the city my whole life, and I've been involved the whole life. I don't think the Queen's here.
Wow, that's a big indictment against your city that you love. The fact that
I do love it, but I don't know. Maybe she is here. Maybe I haven't found her, but
yeah, I think you got to look harder, bro.
I might have to.
Maybe you have to go to the very romantically named neighborhood Fishtown.
No, don't fucking check the gates of hell. You don't know what's over there,
bro. Maybe
I haven't checked.
Yeah.
Maybe she's dancing at the Republican or the Republic. You know what I'm talking
about? I've heard of the Republic. I haven't been there. Yep. I haven't been there.
Right. Friends have told you about it. Right. Of course.
I'm a member. You can drop my name.
Jesus Christ.
No, because I think it's that strip clubs.
Wait, James, you're on the executive board.
Is that
strip clubs can't have a curfew, a very early curfew, or maybe members only clubs can go past whatever the curfew is for other bars. And so this is a strip joint, but you have to be a member with a one-time $5 contribution or some shit. I don't know. It's really dumb.
Honestly, man, I really love that charity has become a huge part of this show. That's fantastic.
Exactly. I want to ask you this, the last question of Fappin' and Clappin' working title. Once quarantine lifts, there's a palpable energy in the air. Once Quar lifts, is this going to be the horniest summer of all time?
It's building up to be that for sure. That's the big vibe for sure. I don't think I've been inside this long since gaming years. And
the whole city is just ready to bust.
It's just everyone
of busterly love.
You can feel the energies in the air.
Yeah,
Bro.
that's called throbbing.
That's dangerous, yo. With especially with
dangerous.
That's what. So on top of everything that's going on, that's a dangerous sexual energy. That you're a vibes guy. That's a dangerous. That's Pandora's box of vibes. You open that, you can't put the toothpaste back.
Anything's possible.
If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of. It's some sort of box. That's all I know.
Yeah, exactly. The
my
box
God.
is also a metaphor.
I say you're obviously a super well-dressed guy. Our question to you is, what is the first piece of advice you'd give to someone who's looking to level up his style? You got 18 million listeners. Oh, no, sorry, 17 million, soon to be 18. You have 17 million listeners right now. What's the first thing you tell them?
Fuck, man. Level up your style. Level up the style. Listen to Throwing Fits.
Woo! Wow, talking about this is honestly, that was like people kneeling with the cops or Republicans fucking Democratic senators and congressmen going fucking full hotep. That was elite pandering that you just did, my friend.
That is the second pod in 5 weeks or so that's been the answer because
Really?
Jonah Weiner said the same thing.
I guess people now know that James is half POC. We should have had that out there earlier. I feel like we would have get more love, dude.
Well, I tried to put it out there, but you as the white hegemony silenced me.
It's my fault.
Yeah,
Got it. Sorry,
exactly,
dude. My bad.
Exactly.
Wait, can I wash your feet later?
Yes, please. Yes,
Cool.
please. Saeed, what about because obviously we kind of alluded to this, but for anyone that's looking to you as a successful brand starter, and now we know how truly successful you are. What's some foundational advice you would give to someone who's looking to start their own brand? Because nowadays, brands are a dime a dozen. You can just start a brand by fucking launching an IG account. So what is actual concrete, solid advice you give to someone who's looking to start their own shit?
First, go let the driving factor of what you're doing be beyond clothing. Don't start a brand just because you think clothing is cool and that you want to make money off of clothing. I think that's a really wrong move to do. I think it should be maybe about something else, maybe something you want to explore, maybe ideas you want to explore, maybe people you want to reach, conversations you want to be had. And also just have, I don't know, I feel like you can get discouraged a lot. Like if you have a drop and it doesn't do well, maybe that discourages you from continuing. But I think honestly, having true belief in yourself and your ideas is truly key. And also the two best. And just I don't know, just have belief and it's beyond just clothing.
I think that for a small, designer or a small brand run by one person that has that first drop and it doesn't go maybe how they want it to, and to understand that now you honestly have this product that maybe is not moving. So it's not like you have unlimited funds. So I can get how that could be demoralizing, but and James and I think we're the living proof of this, that the odds that you get it right the first time, you have to almost know going into it that that's not how it works. And I hate to think that kid, and we want kids to listen to this and follow down that path where you could work for yourself and you could be your own boss. Be fucking balling like the king of Philly, who's in the Juicy Zoomy right now, who's yo, I don't know girls right now, bro. I'm a mogul. I don't have time to date, but anyway, I feel just the expectations, you want to have self-worth, you want to have belief. I'm all for that, but I think it's about being realistic too, without being a fucking glass half empty Debbie Downer. I think the odds that it happens off the Saeed story, the glow up that is meteoric, right? Which is honestly, I don't think anyone besides you knew where it was at even now. I think that I think it's a great example, but this is not just how it doesn't just happen.
Right.
Clear.
And speaking of people that have not experienced their glow up yet, it is time to move on to 30 Seconds of Thirst, because Chef, I don't know what Chef had to go do, whether it was a family Zoom or some shit, but or maybe he's doing a fucking quarantine date. Who knows? Because that man needs to release something. That man needs to release some nut. So we're only gonna enter 30 Seconds of Thirst featuring our fucking man's. Okay, why don't we do 60 Seconds of Thirst?
Yeah,
where Chuck, you can have both questions. Chuck, you're unmuted. Speak, my king.
So you said you wanted all caps to have more of like a physical presence. I want to know what like the all caps flagship store, like what would the vibe be? What would it look like? What would it smell like? What kind of furniture?
All five senses.
What's the location too?
Okay.
Where's it at?
I would think probably if we were to do it, I think I would tap into Philly. I think it would be, it would probably smell, I would like to have a lot of plants in it. So that would probably smell, you get aromas of plant vibes. You get like, maybe some incense, big incense guy, maybe some, green tea incense, maybe some, the furniture would probably be, I've been, into like mid-century sort of vibes. So maybe that's the vibe in there. And it will just, I think it would be facing as like, I don't think it would be full on retail. I think it would be a mixed retail and like workspace.
Salon.
What do you say?
A salon, a meeting place of thought leaders and minds, just like,
or kind of like what Antonio has at 18 East, where it's like retail in the front and then true like office in the back, and it's just a curtain, and he'll like walk you back there if you want.
18 East has a sick vibe. I feel like that's a store that it's like part of the universe. I think that if you're in the city and you're going to check out like Noah, and you maybe want to see the fucking new fucking Supreme store on Bowery or go to ALD or whatever, 18 East is kind of doing it in their own way.
No free clout.
Yeah, no free clout. But yeah, 18 East is, I think it's part of it's like that part of the universe, right? You're just trying to, and I guess all caps, that's like what, how close to piggyback on Chuck to some degree, how soon could this happen if you had the guess? Now that you got the fucking financial superpower.
You got the daddies in the building.
Yeah.
It's been a conversation. We're still trying to figure out exactly how this is going to work and like where we're going to place it and like if we want to place it at all. But it's definitely it's a conversation about it. I'm just a little bit worried how soon it might happen. And just like, I know retail in Philadelphia, from my experience, is always a bit tricky and it's hard to gauge. So if we were to do it, I definitely would emphasize studio first and then retail second.
I'm worried about your furniture budget, dog.
Facts.
I'm worried about this global pandemic we got going on.
That too.
But it's like, I don't know. Like there's been talks to have like one possibly in Philly or one possibly in LA.
Oh, wow. We already know where this man fucking Fightful goes west, dog.
Yeah.
Where in LA? Where in LA?
I've been fucking with, what's that area called? Where's like
the La Brea Tar Pits?
Like what's the area where like Mr. Green and Office and Gallery? You guys know those stores where those guys are based? What's that area called?
Silver Lake?
Silver Lake. Yeah. I fuck with that. Yeah. That's the vibe. I like that vibe a lot.
So my second question was going to be: you've worked with Mr. Green, and you mentioned getting blazed. Very, very cool. Is weed criminalized in Philly, and like, how can the legal kush industry give back to people of color?
Ooh, legal weed is actually decriminalized. Still like still not recreational, but decriminalized. And black people should get weed for free.
Yo, reparations?
Straight up. Like they should free all the people in prison who are like selling drugs, and then give them the money that we were giving to the cops.
That's not even good enough.
That's actually
you get smoked out by Obama. That's also part of it.
That too.
Every single
that's
fucking. You get 40
acres of marijuana plants.
Yeah. My last weed question was what's your favorite way to indulge? Do you like to smoke or vape or eat or
flower?
Yeah. No, I like flower. I like papers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I like the act. The act of smoke is really nice for me. Like I also have a bowl, but the bowl is just not as satisfying to smoke out.
Of course not. Agree. Thank you.
All right. 60 seconds of thirst with Chuck, and Chuck is a fucking wrap, and that is a wrap on part 1 of 2. Chef, I don't know where you are, but I'm gonna need you to hit that motherfucking outro music.
So nasty that it's probably somewhat of a travesty having me. Then he told the people you can call me your majesty. keep your battery charged. He know it won't stick, yo, and it's not his fault you kick slow. Shoulda let your trick hold your sick glow. Plus nobody couldn't do nothing once he let the brick go. And you know I know that's a bunch of snow. The beat is so butter. Peep the slow cutter as he utter the calm flow. Don't talk about my mom, yo. Sometimes he rhyme quick, sometimes he rhyme slow, or vice versa. Whip up a slice of nice verse pie, hit it on the first try, villain. The worst guy, spot hot tracks like spot a pair of fat asses. Shots of the scotch from out the square shot glasses. And he won't stop till he got the masses. And show them what they know not through flows of hot molasses. Do it like the robot to headspin to boogaloo. Took a few minutes to convince the average boogaboo. It's ugly, like look at you, it's a damn shame. Just remember all caps when you spell the man name.